I'm gonna get mine. Go do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't tell me how you're off and down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown. It's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm mad that when I come down straight, I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean, revolution machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises over the top. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
It's Thursday night. I love Thursday night. Whoop, whoop. We're good. Right on. It's Thursday night. We're here with the wonderful group of people here that reached out to us about wheelchair accessibility and compassion in New Jersey, which I love, the energy from you guys. Liberty City Dispensary. We got Peter, Andreas, and Carlos.
What's up, guys?
And oh man, you guys are the best. What's going on with your dispensary? Are you ready to go, or are you ready to open soon, or you're still working? And
So as far as that, we're close. We're close. We're in the process of finishing the build out. We're right at the right time for you guys, especially the concerns that you raised on the CFC, which definitely woke us a little bit. It was at the right time because
timing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
we were right at that time, and we're glad that our bathrooms are compliant now, and that we know what to do, because from the CRC you can't get a straight answer really from them. So getting you guys to come down, making sure that everything is compliant and approved, and for us it's great. There's really no rules for that, like you said in the CRC. So if we can bring that up, that would be a great thing. Maybe make an SOP that we can distribute for free for other dispensaries. It's something that's not unheard of. We can just give stuff out, something just to go by. We would like to know how many other dispensaries have reached out to you and have also, sort of like came out and said something. Have you had a lot of them come to you or no?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
We're gonna try. We're gonna work. We're gonna work.
You guys are special.
We're gonna work.
I'm telling you, guys are amazing. I love the energy because we need more people to have this energy and to put it forward, to be proactive.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's not thought of. The lawyers didn't tell you about it. The builder didn't tell you about it. The architects didn't tell you about it. Nobody told you about this. They'll tell you, you're compliant. You're probably compliant. You're probably good.
Yeah, we had a couple of ideas for the back, for example. We were thinking of dropping it and having like a, sort of like a level pitch. But then you looked at it and you said, no, you guys already have something here. So we're going to try to do something similar, maybe something nicer. And I'm just glad we got that because it was, you know, such a relief. You know, we thought we were going to spend a whole bunch of money having to break the sidewalk, having to do all, you know, getting the permits, getting the city to agree to all this.
That'd be a lot of money. You think?
Yeah, for sure. So it saves us a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of second guessing because we don't want to have it done and then everybody says, no, it's not done yet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a person a couple of stores up that has that issue where they put asphalt, I guess a ramp made of asphalt.
Yeah.
A 6 foot.
It looks like they literally, I mean, I'm going to be a little funny here. They look like they just dumped a whole bunch of asphalt and just stomped on it.
Down, yeah.
They just went like that, stomped on it, and that's their ramp. And I felt like, wow, okay. But then you said we can do something like that, which is already approved, but bring it down and to a right.
A little
to a right.
further.
Yeah,
Little
make it
further.
nice, make it good, look good, you know. So that for us is easy. That's
Yeah.
just so easy, man, to
Well,
do.
originally you were supposed to come in for the front door where all the other businesses come through the front.
Yeah.
And the town says, no, you have to go through the back.
Yeah, it's also it works out. It works out for us. I think overall, the back has a big parking lot,
Yes.
so there's a lot of. It's easier to just find a spot back in the back, and since there's a access in the back, might as well just use it. They told us to basically one of the conditions was we had to flip the store, so the front had to be in the back. And then, so we changed the whole scheme of the store, just to get just to get the approval, and I think it works out at the end of the day. We have the space in the back. The parking lot is huge, and it's just
It's an open pallet.
yeah, it's the right spot. It's the right way to do it. I think.
Good
in my
timing
opinion.
to do
My
anything you
opinion, it's
wanna
not
do.
bad. Yeah.
No, there's a space that you have to close off because it's over the 2,500 feet that you're. Now, what is that all about? I don't understand because there's a space that you can't use at all.
Yeah. Okay. So
In the beginning, I think we were. Do you mind if I interject a little bit? So,
Go ahead.
in the beginning, we were first going to be medical and retail. Then CRC changed the rules because of one. We weren't named the dispensary that made a mistake with serving retail cannabis to medical patients. So that kind of cost all the dispensaries that were up and coming and ones that are existing that are no longer able to serve the medical patients. So that extra 300 square feet, we're actually planning on using it with a well-renowned doctor that was actually my dad's primary physician for many years, my primary physician for many years, and he does numerous tests on drugs, make sure they're safe and stuff like that, and we were planning on working with him with cancer patients. That's one of the main reasons we got into this. So Medical Solutions, Liberty City Medical Solutions was actually a big part of our SOP, correct, Andres? And it was a big part in the beginning.
yeah, but basically the point I think out of all this, what happened with CRC, I think the CRC needs to wake up because the medical side of business side of cannabis is very slow right now at the moment. We're talking about a market that's growing in the recreational sales, but the medical sales are diminishing. A lot of people feel like the state is letting the medical patients down, and they are in a way. I think the CRC in a way is not thinking forward. It's not thinking the right way when it comes to medical because they can just allow all the dispensaries to be able to carry medical cannabis, to be able to service medical patients if the cannabis business wishes to do so by, getting the growers who are growing medical and allowing them to sell you the cannabis so you can then, as retail, just sell it at retail price. So this is something that the CRC can definitely do. But going back to what you started to talk about and the 2,500 square feet, it all ties down to the CREAM Act. So basically, Governor Murphy, he passes the CREAM Act, I believe it was 2018, which it sort of paved the way towards sort of like the rules of what the cannabis business or a cannabis business should look like. And they decided to have different categories of business. Standard business, micro business, minority-owned business, woman or even disabled veteran-owned business. They have all these categories, but if you apply as a micro business, you have a priority, so to speak, because as a micro business, they want you to succeed. They want to take a little company, and they want to. Their goal is to take a little company, a micro business, and grow it to wherever it needs to grow.
Yes.
But there's rules and limitations. So they want you, okay, you're a micro business, so you can only have 2,500 square feet in your store. That's it. That's your limit. That is in the law. It comes from way back. Now, if you apply as a standard business, that law then doesn't apply to you. It only applies to you as a micro business. But as a standard business, you don't get the priority for the license as you would a standard business. So that's the gamble that you take. You say, okay, let me be a micro business, which you have to be for 1 year. So you have to stay 1 year micro business. Then you can, at the point where you renew your license every year, then you say to the CRC, okay, I'm not a micro business anymore. I've grown. Now my operations or my customers are too big. Now I need to hire more employees. So another one of the rules is you can only have 10 employees in the beginning. So if you want to have more employees, if you want to have more people working for you, another dispensary perhaps, another location, you need to graduate or you need to get away from the micro business after the 1 year. So it was a strategy just to sort of get the priority for the license, but the strategy overall would be at the year, we would then transform from a micro business to a standard. And the fees change, but once you get your foot in the door, we feel like, that was the right move, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go, If we were given the priority as a micro business and minority owned. So the whole minority owned micro business, social equity category gives you a sort of like a priority, They make you a priority to get you your license and see what you can do. Because after all, once you get the license, it's up to you what you do with it, because there's no way to get money for it. There's no loans, no anything like that. So you got to go out and see how you can bring your friends in, your family, people that you can trust into the business, see if they want to grow it. And I found a great business partner with Peter.
How did you guys meet?
Well, it's a long story. We went go-karting. We went to the go-karts. But I went to his house one time for his birthday. I broke my guitar. Really cool. His friends are really just like, my type of people, just they love rock and roll. They love guitar. And it was just really chill. But when I got my license, I somehow he reached out to me or I reached out to him. And I said to him, hey, I'm doing this, I got this thing going on. Would you be interested? He said he jumped on it. He thought it was good. Once we started planning and we started, sort of like looking at financials and seeing how lucrative it could be and the strategy, how we were going to go about doing it, he was with it 1,000%. And so we've been just on that path for now a year. We started, first trying to find the location. It took a long time to find a location. We went everywhere, man. Like, that song, I Went Everywhere?
Do I know that song?
It's a really, really cool story.
What kind of towns turned you down or didn't?
Really cool story about the everywhere thing. So
Yeah. So,
Andre's got my dad's Mercedes. My dad recently passed away, unfortunately, from cancer.
sorry.
So that's one of the things. One of the big reasons we got into the cannabis thing, especially with the medical side, which we'll touch base on later. But my dad was not using his car anymore, so I was like, Andre, hey, let's go find out locations. And I think that was just part of the real story of just grabbing my dad's Mercedes, just let him go. It was an old beat up Mercedes, 2001, nothing fancy, nothing, no expensive, no extravagant stuff. Beat up, rust, just go down the road. It was an A and B car, and Andres just went everywhere from Cape May to Butler to.
I went everywhere trying to find this location.
Literally everywhere.
But the funny thing was that my car was totaled like 2 months or 3 months right before we started like talking about the business. My car was completely just total outside parked. Fuck, I took the loss. So it sort of like held me back a little bit trying to get around. So that's when he came up with the idea, hey man, I got an extra car. Here you go. Yeah. Just go out there. So I would just go and get in the car. I would just drive around, maps, look at locations, and I did my homework. I called every town, like you said. How many towns turned me down?
Did you listen to my song?
Oh, bro, I'm talking. Every town turned me down.
Barnegat, Berkeley, Bridgeton, Bridgewater, Brigantine, Colfax, Chatham,
exactly.
Clifton, Cranberry, East Rutherford, Elmwood Park, Emerson, Fairhaven, Freehold, Garfield, Hasbrook Heights, Hawthorne, Levelette, Lodi, Jamesburg, Hazlitt, Mawa. You can't get no weed here. You can't get no weed here. That's the song you're talking about. You can't get no weed here. Yep. And then Manville, Mannington, Point Pleasant Beach, Halton, Caldwell, Oakland, Docheport, Ridgewood, Ringwood, Seaside Heights, Seagirt, Shrewsbury, Sequoia, Surf City, Spotswood, Upper Freehold, Upper Saddle River, Wall, and Wayne. You can't get no weed there. You can't get it's. There's 2 more verses. There's like 70 towns you can't get weed in because they banned medical cannabis dispensaries. It's like you have people that are in your town in wheelchairs that are sick, and you're gonna make them what? Just go to a mile down the road or 2 miles down the road when they can go right in their own neighborhood. Like, make it easier for people that are sick. No, it's not medicine. They're not treating it as medicine. Fentanyl, any pharmacy. Oxycontin, but cannabis, not in my town. But you sell fentanyl and tobacco and booze, but not cannabis that saves people's lives? Wait, what? What? So we went to all these towns and we would, sing that song with Bongholio. There's a mini Bongholio here. Bear, Bongholio fell. Can you grab Bongholio? Bongholio's a 8-foot bong, and he's a guitar playing bong. And he used to go around to council meetings and play that song. Oh, somebody's calling in. Uh-oh. I thought we had a phone call coming in. I guess not.
You did have a phone call.
I did. It hung up. It was Bongholio. It was actually Bongholio.
Was it Cody?
Wait a minute. There's
small
no
world.
way he could have known that we were talking. There's a delay on this. This is not exactly. No, that's
Was
funny.
it Cody?
No, it's not Cody. Cody's going to call on StreamYard, right?
Well,
You sent him the
I,
link?
I forgot about him until now because
Oh.
I was busy all day.
Oh, I didn't have the
I'm
link until
sorry.
like 4:30.
I'm sorry. I
That's all right.
apologize.
So you're the best. Thank you for everything you do. But I got the guest this week.
Okay, you get the prize.
No, these guys are amazing because it really touched my heart when you reached out to me and wrote that letter because we need that energy for more dispensaries because it's amazing to me that what I've seen. I've seen police stations without wheelchair access, post offices without wheelchair access, and it's a federal law. But if you're an old post office, you're grandfathered in.
It's an ableist world.
It's insane. I'm like, wait a minute. It's your laws. These are your laws. And your police stations and your post offices don't have access. So when I found out dispensaries don't have access now, I'm like, well, I should have known. I should have been on top of this a little earlier, probably. I should have been because I should have expected it. I really should have expected it. Because I see how Jersey City, you see how Jersey City is. Steps everywhere. Everywhere. It's like to go down, to go up. Stores. Like, even pharmacies. I'm sure you've seen a few pharmacies. I think there's one on Kennedy Boulevard with the steps.
Every single pharmacy I've been to so far has had a step, even on like pretty flat ground. There's an extra step.
Just grab that when you're.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Second here. I
No,
wanna
there's,
hear
you
you.
know, there's an extra step. Yeah, it's weird. I'm really glad we're on that page, like trying to bring some sense to it, because like it's something I really wasn't paying attention even to, like a lot of the dispensaries I've been visiting. I was like, wow, there really isn't any access in here, and you know, especially like the smaller the space. And I understand, you know, you want to go for that intimate boutique kind of vibe, but you gotta be considerate of everybody else, because there are going to be a lot of people who absolutely need it to function. And you know, as a person who deals with like lower back pain, I don't want to go a day without weed.
Right.
Who would?
You got some serious back issues like me.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call them serious, but I've had it operated on, and it's something that if you're not paying attention and you're lifting a bunch and twisting a bunch, oh hey, I'm on the floor again for 2 days. That's fun.
Let me ask you a fun question. When was the first time you smoked weed? Is there a story behind it?
Absolutely. I was so fucking young and impressionable. Like, I was 17. I lived a really, really, like, cautious life. I don't take tons of risks. I'm not a big party guy. I just love to smoke weed. But, you know, I just remember, too, like, my friend... we had just moved to this new town. I'm from, like, this really, really tiny fucking town called Alvin, Texas. The only notable thing about it is Nolan Ryan. If you're a baseball fan,
Really?
Nolan Ryan is from Alvin, Texas. I think he still probably has a residence there somewhere. The McDonald's there was a big, big tribute to him. If you go there still, he's everywhere. Tiny, tiny town. We move in high school to this, you know, bigger suburb. I trying to make friends with whoever. I don't play sports. I don't do a lot of the normal stuff because I'm a weirdo. I just hadn't started smoking weed yet, and I started hanging out with people who smoked weed, and they were like, you know, man, you might really dig it. It's really cool. No, my parents say it's really terrible, and like I'm gonna get addicted, and I'm gonna end up like fucking doing heroin by the time I'm like 22, and I got a whole future planned out, and blah 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 blah. No, Los, you need to relax, man. Just fucking come on. So we go out. I go to hang out with some friends. This guy who I ended up meeting, who's like, you know, when you're in high school, there's that one kid who has, like, parents who don't give a shit, tons of money. Everybody's his friend. Everybody's his friend because there's a bong there, and he's got really good access to weed. The guy I knew was really, really cool dude. His mom made, like, quilts for art. Dad was, like, this really cool geologist. They smoked and toked, and we got to hang out, like, with them. It was just really cool environment. I'm glad I worked my way there. Still specifically remember Training Day was the thing we were watching. Bong gets to me, and it's literally right at the scene where, like, fucking Denzel's trying to make Ethan Hawke, like, take the, what was it, angel dust. And I'm like, and they're like, here's the bong. I'm like, do it. And then, like, the first thing that comes out of my mouth as I exhale is, oh my God, everything my parents said was a lie. This is great. I don't feel like I need to do this all the time, and I feel awesome. And why is the screen green? I'm like, hey, what? Did everything just turn green? No, man, that's just a movie, and you're stoned. Welcome to the club. And that was, 17, 18, and I am now 37, so good Lord, where does time go? And, you know, it's in Texas, too. Texas is really, really restrictive. It will never be legalized in Texas. I really would love to be wrong, but I've lived there for 37 years. I see how people treat it, and I've seen the industry that's, like, popped up to house all the prisoners and exploit them for labor. So I found the opportunity to be here in Jersey, thanks to meeting Andre through Twitch, and I'm just here to sell weed and have fun.
Good point. So we didn't have fun. I'm with you.
I mean, it's like there's more to it. Obviously, like I'm really proud that both Andre and Peter take this really, really seriously and very diligently. And I was really, really surprised, honestly, that Andre reached out to you, because I don't know how this like was a blind. I consider myself a pretty progressive person. That's another big reason I'm never going back to fucking Texas. And I hang out with a crowd that's, you know, very, very like into social justice and into like being aware of your surroundings and aware of people. And it was something that was a complete blind spot to me. And it's weird because it happened in this same week that I watched this really, really great YouTube video about like there's this big wave of people denying that Helen Keller was actually like blind and deaf, and it's been a big thing that's been happening on TikTok over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
And I
I've
was
seen
just, yeah, right. And I was just like, people actually still believe.
Like just making fun of it.
Yeah.
Like doing a lot of
Wow.
videos about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, and people actually buy into this story that like, no, the woman was actually really incredible. And these people have to like overcome a shitload and overcome a shitload in an era where no one cared. I mean, people barely care now. We're, this wonderful world that we live in. But back then, 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, no one gave a shit.
But wait, but you have to look at it in a sense, like, I don't want to get off topic, but it's, dare I say, unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like,
It is. Like, yeah, when you
Is that
think about it, it's like, how could somebody do it?
blind?
Yeah.
like, okay, first off, let's be real about that situation. If I'm deaf and blind, first off, all I got is touch.
Yep.
How do you tell me what I'm reading? And how do I get to see what I'm reading if I'm only touching it? How do I communicate
Yeah.
in the first place? That's the part I'm confused at. And I guess that's where everybody else
Yeah, that's like a pretty like honest skepticism to have,
For
and
real.
that was the thing that I had too.
Real, like-
And the video, like the guy points out all the context of like how people like are able to learn and build like the building blocks of language and reason in their mind, and I was just like, yeah, no, people are really incredible and find ways to survive and ways to adapt,
But
and
what
they
did
have to
she
stand up for themselves.
Use, though? Like, did she use like? Okay, if I wanted to put in perspective,
Yes.
Uh-oh. Did you hit that button?
Ooh, I do that all the time. Fire alarm.
It's gonna get
Smoke
crazy in
alarm.
here. Yeah, this is just the beginning.
Because it was smoking.
Suck hard. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. Oh yes, a man after my own heart.
Not my first dab, definitely not my last.
Oh.
So again, it's just,
Yeah,
it was
clap,
really
clap.
serendipitous because like it was something that hadn't really crossed my mind. It was a blind spot I had to the amount of like privilege that I have just being able to stand up and walk and do whatever.
I love that I dabbed you out during our interview. That's the best thing ever. No. This is great. No, this is the best thing ever.
Shit, huh? You want to light another one?
Andres, can I dab you out now?
Huh?
Can I give you a dab?
Yes, you
Oh,
should
for sure.
go for it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
Go for
All
it.
right, Pete, you want one too?
When was the first time?
Okay.
When was the first time y'all had dabs?
Secondhand, right?
I think Peter needs to try that. I think as a cannabis business owner, he needs
Yeah.
to try
I will.
that.
Yeah, at some point,
At some point.
because dabs
at
are the
least-
future.
At least once.
Dabs are like end game, like to use video game terms. Dabs are like
For me,
end game.
for my
Every-
pain,
my
yeah.
gamer buddy, yeah.
For pain.
Absolutely,
For pain,
100%.
It's for pain for me, and
Yeah.
it's a game
It
changer.
obliterates pain.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really like.
Yeah.
I've always supplemented a lot of my like coping with like cannabis, But when I started hitting concentrates, I was like, wow, this is actually like legit helping me get through like most of the day
another one?
without like any discomfort.
Well, I will. Yes, I do. Let me do this here. I'm gonna get you first.
Bro, that dab the other day was
You were gone.
really,
Oh, yeah.
really potent.
Yeah, get on that mic.
It was,
There you
yeah, that dab that you had the other day was amazing.
That had to be like one of your first, huh?
No, I've had it before, but I don't think I've ever had anything that potent in my life.
go. Really?
Yeah, yeah. And I've been smoking weed for a long time.
This is like twice.
In fact, if we want to go back on topic, the first time I smoked weed,
Yes.
the first time I smoked weed, okay, so this is funny, was at a house that he is renting. So this is crazy.
Irony.
So
Yeah.
Hold on, this is funny. I gotta dab you out first as you're giving the story. Hold on here.
Yeah.
This is funny now. Now we're gonna get into it.
Now it's
Now you're
how's it work? How's it work? Like this?
Yeah, just put it in there.
put it in there.
Suck hard. Suck hard.
I
Suck hard.
randomly,
Pull really
while
hard.
he's taking a dab, I randomly rent this house
I
in Inglewood.
suggest you
Random
stop.
house. Total random house that I rented
Flip
in
it over and
Inglewood.
put the top on.
And it was actually the house that he took his first.
Flip it over.
Good? It's good?
You can finish that if you
so-
want. Carlos, want to finish it?
There's a
Don't hold that smoke in.
unbelievable story behind that house.
Don't hold that in. Tell him that.
I will.
Hold it out.
Hold on. Let me pull up Jim. Jim's here.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay. You ready?
Don't hold the smoke in.
Don't- There you go.
You want some water?
Too late.
Okay. Okay. Continue with your story.
So, yeah.
Can't breathe.
That's too funny.
Leave him alone.
No. What? I understand what you're saying.
This house in
I
Inglewood
speak law.
there's some sort of
pretty cool connection there.
Get him some water.
Get him some water.
Drink that water.
And you might want to take your shirt off. Yeah, you might.
Thank you.
Drink that. Drink it now.
Drink
Trust me. Drink it.
Got him.
That's fucked up, Ed.
You're welcome. You'll thank me later. Not now, maybe later.
OMG.
Told you. It was like twice the last time. 'Cause last time was just a little portable.
Yeah, that was a good one.
A fucking torch. Wow. Murder scene.
I'm getting the second hand one. I'm still.
Yeah, you should be getting some smoke there. Is that the blunt? Oh my goodness, look at this blunt.
Pull it. It'll take it away. Pull it.
That'll help. That'll actually help you.
It'll help. Pull.
You'll feel better after
Yes,
that.
I
Yes,
promise
it
you.
will help. It will.
Pull it. Suck that in. It'll take it away. Them dads be fucking you up.
Yep.
That take it
You
away.
okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
Carlos?
Kind of did. Oh,
I know.
Yes, sir.
That's why I licked the blunt.
holy shit.
Once they're dab, you gotta. If you do a hard dab like that,
Wow.
you gotta take some smoke.
So,
Okay, Andres, can you continue with your story?
Inglewood House, the story.
Oh,
the irony
the story.
of like me renting this house, random house, found on the internet, garage in the middle of nowhere. I needed to put my construction equipment there. Trying to put my 65 Mustang in there, trying to park it inside, old Shelby Mustang. That'll be at the grand opening, by the way. So.
Okay.
And stuck my 16 passenger limousine over there. So this house is the very first house that Andres smoked. And there was this, I think it was like one legacy kind of guy there. Was a lot of legacy stuff there, and he had a really cool Corvette parked in there, like an old Stingray. I think it was a red Stingray, right? He's still coping. He'll be all right. So, really cool, very cool story. And the fact that I pull up in the house, he's like, "No way! There's no way you're renting this garage right now." He's like, "There's so many stories behind this place of like random place that I just happened to rent."
That's cool.
You all right? You ready?
He getting there.
Tell Ingo he's
He getting there.
Send me the Uber, please.
I don't think that's gonna fit.
Can I have the Uber?
almost. He's still. Water? You good?
Oh, can I get some water?
So, awesome. Yeah, I got you. Got it? Yep. Yeah, so great story, man. It was just.
So you can't hold the smoke on
ironic.
the dab, huh?
Hold on.
No, you gotta pour it right out.
No.
You gotta let it right out.
All right.
Half kill
Too
yourself.
fat. Wow.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's crazy. I grew up in Inglewood.
Okay. I went to Englewood Post Office because they have no ramps in the front.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the old post office. There's two post offices.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And they send you around the back where it's all overgrown and rusty, and they crack the door open and you can get your stuff through there. Like
Yep.
it's just not good.
It's right around the corner, actually, from that post office, this house. And I grew up a couple of blocks up, but my friend that lived there actually was sort of like a drug dealer. You know?
Legacy.
Peter, catch
Yeah,
this.
legacy.
Here it comes.
Legacy guy.
Bear, somebody catch this one. You don't have to actually. It's gonna lean. It's gonna lean. No, it's not.
Oh, that's what's going on. Jesus Christ. That wasn't a smokestack.
Wow.
I'm 0 for 2.
So then 20 years later, here we are, like getting stuff in that same house.
The fact that I rented that house was
Same house, it's crazy.
rented that.
Real coincidence. Yeah, and I smoked there for the first time, I remember. We had Halloween parties there.
That's Jim.
Oh.
Jim, I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Can you turn that TV down or the radio or whatever it is, just a little bit?
I was muted.
I just muted you because I wanted to make sure it was that, and it was whatever the TV or the radio.
Truck goes down.
The truck is down.
I'm getting an echo, but I'll just keep my mute.
Oh my
on
God!
anyway.
Hold on, I'm fixing that right now. Oh, I forgot.
I'm just gonna keep
I'm not doing my job.
I'm just gonna watch.
I'm not doing my job here. Hold on. I'm the worst engineer ever. All right, there we go. It's fixed. Oh boy, sorry about that.
Yep. The dab was lethal.
Super dab.
I'm not even paying attention to the chat, and this is gonna.
That one's front heavy, remember?
Yeah, you don't want to use this one. I'll get a leaner. Watch this.
Oh, yeah, that was later. Right
Bad.
at the table.
I'm not even paying attention to the chat. People probably have questions. Oh, here we go. Host, the host with the most buttered toast this side of YouTube. Yeah,
Hi, Possum.
that's great.
That's a friend of mine.
Nice. What do you talk about on your podcast? Get up on that mic over here.
I wouldn't call it a podcast. It's just this fucking Twitch stream where, like, I game mostly. Sometimes I cook, but that's really just kind of a vector for conversation. People show up, they're like, "Oh, do this." I'm like, "No, I'm gonna do this. Here's a bunch of sound effects you can trigger." And somehow through all that, we end up talking about just anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you're out there and you're giving.
It's really weird, just kind of like letting go and just
Yeah,
kind of like
people wanna
talking.
engage. Like,
Yeah.
people want to engage with you.
Yeah, it's really weird. And like the deeper you go, like sometimes you can get kind of weirdly parasocial. Sometimes you can get really, really cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All of it's good.
Yeah, man.
Just
Like,
go with it.
yeah.
All of it's good. It's never bad. Just go with it. I promise you. Just go.
That's a really, really good outlook, honestly. Sometimes, I just get really, really worried. I'm very like old
Don't do it.
school to the point where like
Don't do it.
get uncomfortable for people giving you stuff. But no, man,
'Cause there are a
you'd
bunch
be
of people out
surprised
there
how
just
kind
like you.
people are.
There are a bunch of people out there just like you. And don't you ever forget that.
Yeah.
Just as much as there are people out there not like you, there are just as many people like you. So don't you ever forget that. You're not weird. You're just not amongst the crowd. You know why? Because I'm not there either. I was, but I'm not anymore.
That's a really, really, really good outlook. Because yeah, like the more it's really weird when you're trying to like build a platform. Because like my aspiration kind of had always been like, I really watch a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube video essay people I follow that I really, really dig. I really love how good like people can get with the written word, and I always wanted to aspire to like write, but it's very tricky.
No,
It's
the
really
only
tricky.
thing stopping you is you.
That's very true. But I just always
There's
kind of
no
trying
but.
to like
There's no but.
no. I've always been trying to like refine a voice, and Twitch has been a huge help. Twitch is basically how I've gotten started, and like now I've been learning like more video editing and
Yeah.
focusing on like
That's fun.
writing. It's been really, really crazy and fun, man. Like the
See,
more
look.
I watch my media, like the more critical I am.
You want to
like,
hear something funny?
I
I see how you just said that. You're trying to find yourself.
Mhm.
What I was going to say was, you already had it. You just didn't know. Just go in there and be yourself.
Yeah.
It's so easy
really is.
to just be yourself. It's like doing nothing. So why go in there and try to be someone else? Now you got to keep up this persona.
Mhm.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
Be yourself. It's so easy to just be yourself because you ain't got to remember to be yourself. You ain't got to remember how to be yourself.
Here you go.
And trust me, there's always
Next
somebody
round,
out
next
there
round,
who will
next
like you. I promise that.
Oh yeah.
Even the weirdest things, people get millions of likes on. And you'd be like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Why do they have 700,000 likes?
And they just did a
It's
thing,
regular.
just like maybe fried an egg or
We support our
something.
employees to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Like I said, man, just continue to be yourself, and I promise you, your stream will grow. Promise you.
Appreciate that.
Be yourself. People like to hear stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I've been doing it for like about 3 years too. So it took a lot of like getting over thinking like, oh, the game I'm playing is the most important thing. Now it's just like whatever like entertains
I'm
me.
here.
Yeah.
Let's do
Basically.
this.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Today, what am I going to do today? The same thing I was going to do when I woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
You just do it when people see it. No, you need that. No. Take a poll.
Really?
Yeah, I need that.
Try.
I promise.
Peter, did we hear the first time you got stoned?
No,
No, didn't hear that.
did not say that yet. But I think it was
Is there
My-
a crazy story?
my buddy's warehouse, I think in Union City.
Oh,
He had a warehouse right in the corner of Patterson Plank Road. My best friend. He used to have all these crazy mannequins in there, and a Porsche, and an old like convertible. It wasn't a Caddy. It was a Buick. And this guy used to ride around like sheepskin all around inside the Buick. And he's a real character, real good friend of mine. And I just remember, pulling on some weed, and about 20 minutes later, I was like, I gotta go to the city and get something to eat. And I was like, I'm not going down these stairs. There's no, it's a building. I'm like, I'm not going down there.
Excuse me a minute. Excuse me. There's a big echo going on. It's
Hi,
really-
Sue.
Is it
Really?
me?
Says
My
echo.
mic?
No, I think I fixed the echo.
Maybe it's this one.
Let me check. There should be no echo.
Oh, sorry.
No, there should be no.
That's better.
Really?
Automatic mic adjustment.
Really?
Is that better? Sorry.
I hope that wasn't going out like that.
Oops.
Might have been.
Oh no, it wasn't you. It was just,
All right, let's start the show over, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
Reset.
That means you have to start doing another dab and go. I'm ready. I just did a huge dab. I'm like,
I gotta roll another blunt. I mean,
whoa.
That was
This thing was huge, by the way. This is a monster blunt.
Yeah,
Blunts
no,
aren't
I have not
big.
seen a blunt that big in over 15 years. And that was like, you know, a beach party stunt kind of thing, not with quality weed.
that's how long the one that you smoked when you first walked in was before we started smoking it. If you'd have got here at 6, you'd have been smoking on that one too.
Yeah, we couldn't
We
wait.
were bouncing around on YouTube looking at these high end blunts, like these really like $3,000 to $5,000 blunts. I'm like, it's not.
Wow.
Why does it? How does it cost that much? Like, is there?
Maybe it's the craftsmanship of it and who made it.
I think so. Could
You
be
know, 'cause
branding,
some of
but
these,
we found a few on YouTube.
Yeah, some of these cigar rollers are
Yep.
really famous, and they'll roll you a blunt with like all this extra stuff. Because they put like the diamond dust in there and all that stuff to make the blunt more potent.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's
so
pure
it'd be like pure like
distal, basically.
Yeah.
Pure
just
distal.
sprinkle it on there. They'll
Yeah.
put the resin in the
Mhm.
on the ends of it. They'll put on the out of it,
In
and
the
then they'll
center or
roll
something.
it in the dust. Here, smoke that. It'd be nothing but dust around the whole thing. Here, smoke that.
Yeah.
It'd be huge.
So
Glass tip.
there's got to be like an audience for that. You
I
know?
think we
yeah,
might
they-
have
they
like
be having
some reward
shows.
points where we'll
Yeah.
put that up in a in a plastic like
Yeah,
fish tank and be like,
We'd
oh,
love to
build your
carry
points
that,
up.
you know?
yeah,
Look forward to that.
yeah.
You know, but
Definitely.
the only thing is we got to sell. We got to get rid of it within 6 months, right? 6
Yeah.
months is the
That's the
expiry.
only thing.
Everything's got to go in 6 months in a dispensary, so nothing expires.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's one good thing, you know, with dispensaries, you're not dealing with all the chemicals and all the byproducts and all that stuff. So all the growers now are very regulatory committed to having, you know, no pesticides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing to know you're not, you know, smoking poop as well, because sometimes that, you know, that
I've seen the microscopic
Weed,
picture.
yeah,
It's pretty bad.
you know, they're using the wrong kind of manure, spraying it all over.
No.
You're smoking that stuff. I don't know about that. But I'm glad that the cultivators now in Jersey are starting to step up, and they're really starting to, you know, make things happen for us real retailers, giving us a lot more selection. We went to see a cultivator recently. It was unbelievable. Like their hydroponics was just incredible. Turnover time was pretty good, and their hybrids they were coming out with was amazing.
Yeah.
Like just new flavors, new terpenes, all the stuff's going to make everybody become newer customers. They're going to realize like how much more is out there than people realize as far as flavor, texture. You know, one of the things I was suffering was, not to make fun, man, is coughing. Like, you know, I was looking into pipes that reduce coughing so people can enjoy it more. So people are novice like me, obviously not that deep in, you know, into smoking. You know, we look at this one glass piece that
Just for the
small
record,
pipe.
that was the first time I ever had a dab.
What?
Or that
A real dab. Like,
Yeah, real dab,
like
yeah.
from like
Yeah.
that
Gotcha.
was like a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feel?
But overall, it's I always believe that you can't get higher at some point. You know, you can only get as high as you at some point. You can't get higher than that.
Have you changed your mind?
I think I'm at
Yeah.
but I'm at that point.
He has changed his mind. I can go higher.
I don't think
There's always a new
I can
level.
get higher than this. You know, no way.
Well, you probably could if you took another dab. Think
No.
about it. You only took one. Yeah, some people take 2, 3 of them
Uh-huh.
things to get right. So yeah, you can definitely go up.
No,
some
but that's
more.
the good thing about cannabis. I mean, if you want to smoke more, I guess you just
Well, it's different.
Keep going.
Mixing edibles.
Yeah.
And everything changes. Oh yeah, you mix in an edible, it'll last so much more longer.
Yep.
The high will last
Vape
almost all
pens.
day.
I'm pretty much like mostly a concentrate person at this point.
Yeah.
I usually have oil pens or like dabs. I've got this little like portable dab rig. I usually just stay to like electric stuff. I really like the burn that you can get from a really good torch rig, but I don't want to keep up with all the fucking propane
Yeah, I hear
and
that.
butane
Yeah,
and all the other ains.
yeah. All that fire in general.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, like you can get a really good pull from like a nice little battery and coil rig. And there's some now that I've been using. Yocan, they do like this little orbit thing where they've got the coils, but on top of the coil is like a little glass piece, and you put the dab in there as if you were hitting on glass, and it's got like two little balls in there, two little glass beads that spin around and like agitate it. And you get a pretty decent cloud out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like
I like
$50
those.
Yeah, those are really nice.
I have this.
I usually got to keep it real cheap, man, because
I have
cheap
this little bong piece. Yay big, and you can put it on any bottle. Add water, make sure that it hits it, and then you can put weed in it. You can put a dab in it, whatever you want. And it's only about yay big, and it has a little tube coming out of it. You light it, pull it. It's perfect.
The one I'm using right now, it's like a tiny little unit. It's called like Randy's Inspo. I bought it from some dispensary because I was like, I need something for concentrates. I'm tired of like not having something. Do you have anything that's like $50? We got something that's 30. Sold. Give it to me. Hopefully it works. Whatever. And yeah, it's been really nice. But it's kind of inconsistent, and I got to be really like diligent about cleaning those coils because if not, those coils burn out. And coils are all kind of the same.
I have the little pin that heats up.
Mhm.
And you could just open it up, put the dab
Yep.
in there or the weed, and it heats it up, and you can just go from there.
Mhm.
You feel it heating up. I have a few of those. I liked them at first, and then it was like it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So kind of went back to blunts again.
I had at one point I had one of those Puffcos, the Puffco Plus. They did a little pen, really nice. Worked for a bit, but I may have overworked it and
Yeah,
not kept
fair.
up with cleaning it.
That's the worst. You don't keep up with cleaning it. That'll break them so fast.
That breaks it really quick. And I was like, dude, that cost me like $109.
Yeah, you have to clean it. Like if you use it a lot, sometimes you gotta clean it every 3 days.
Every 3 days. Yep.
Yeah, it's annoying. I don't like
What
it.
do you usually use? Do you usually use like rubbing alcohol? Because I use a little
Yes,
bit of rubbing alcohol and then
alcohol.
burn it for a bit.
90%.
Yes.
You can't use the cheap stuff
Yeah.
because it's like using water.
Mhm.
If you use the 90%, comes right off.
Dab it a little bit in
Right
like a
off.
what is it? Q-tip. Dab it in there.
Yeah, just
Clean.
go around it. Yep.
And then burn it for a
Right.
little bit to make sure all the alcohol's burnt off.
That's how I
'Cause
use
if not, it puts a weird flavor and you're like,
Yeah.
please don't let this kill something that I need. Like if I forget like a birthday or something, that's fine. But not like,
Don't kill a brain cell I might need tomorrow.
stash location or something. Don't let me forget that. Passwords.
Well, I got so many, so I could never forget. I'll remember one of them. Oh, there's some over here. I'll go get that.
Hey, Seth. Seth says methadone has helped me get off opiates. Without it, I wouldn't have known what to do. Yet most people don't use it properly, but that's one that's due. Yeah, it does help. They were talking about methadone in the chat.
Oh. Hate to be a bummer, but can I go use a restroom real quick?
Of course. Ain't no bummer.
Sir.
Water runs like straight through. Tons.
There's to the left. When you leave the other door, make a left. And it's an unfinished bathroom. I started putting a penny floor down, as you'll see. And there's bamboo around the outside, but I never finished it.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
I just did around the toilet.
Yeah.
Just watch for the spike. Yeah. Right up the door.
So my parents always told me to wash your hands after you go to the bathroom.
The light is outside.
But I washed them before because you know where my hands have been. I don't even know. I washed them before
You're gonna see a door. And you
It
light
makes
it outside.
because you know you think about it. You don't want to touch your, you know. So
So Lefty, what's the deal? You live here?
no, I own this house, and I got. Speaking of the first time you got stoned, the first time I got stoned was right back here in the corner of this backyard.
What's
So
with the backyard? It's really interesting, man. It's like a bamboo, like a what was?
you made the
It's
right
crazy.
turn. Actually, I said you made the wrong turn, but you made the right turn.
Did you guys notice how cool it was back there when you got back there?
Yeah, man.
It's
It's
very
really nice.
Cool back there.
Different world.
Yeah, you're not in Bayonne. It's quiet.
Yeah.
It's cool, breezy,
Mm-hmm.
peaceful. You don't hear people, and you can see out, but they can't see in. You can see out in the street a little bit, but they can't see in because of the light.
At all.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very, very cool. It's the best room in the house.
Best view.
If you want to meditate or pray out there, that's the place to do it.
You
Yeah, because you look up and it's just bamboo and
got to do a podcast out there.
we've done that.
You've done it. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's got to get some
Yeah, it's fun.
interesting views.
So, Andres, what's your favorite munchie food?
Well, bro, like burgers, I guess. That would be the ultimate, every time. Just a burger,
What's on it?
just a regular cheeseburger. That's it.
Cheeseburger. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, not like a smash burger, just any old cheeseburger.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, cool.
I go,
Just a hamburger, man. I could dig it.
getting hungry now.
Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with a good cheeseburger.
I love
Yep.
this question because it makes me want. Okay, I probably get a hamburger later.
I
Cheeseburger.
prefer a classic, lettuce and tomatoes, some mayo and ketchup. That's it.
From where?
Whatever.
Anywhere.
He's just a hamburger, man. No matter.
Yeah,
Sandwich shop.
exactly. I'm just like, let's
Be a
go.
hamburger man.
Whatever.
Don't matter where it came from.
Central Avenue, that place.
Because wherever you go, you can always get a hamburger.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
Always.
man.
That hamburger place that you get
My throat is still.
you get
fucked up, man.
deliveries from, they have their own app, which was like really cool.
Yeah.
And you just don't
exactly.
have to deal with Postmates or anything like that. It was very cool. Wasn't a good place. Oh, you got it.
yeah, you could sneak around either
Sneak
way.
around.
Either way.
Yeah.
You made it semi-convenient.
Marty's, right? Marty's. The burger place? Marty's.
No, just anywhere, man.
Yeah, man.
Like just if you're on the road or whatever, you can always get a burger.
It's true. Anywhere.
Doesn't matter where you go, man.
Just like chicken fingers. You could always get some chicken fingers and french fries no matter where you go. It's always on the menu.
My son's favorite. Chicken
Pizza
nuggets
Hut.
and rice.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut.
Chicken nuggets and rice all day. Every
So always get some chicken nuggets somewhere. Always.
Yeah.
Never fail.
I think if it were possible to not like die from the health causes, I think I could eat French fries every day and not be upset with it. There's a lot of food like you think about I might get sick of. You can never get sick of fries. Fries are like eternal, and there's like so many different ways to do them, and so many different ways you can like elaborate on them. The perfect,
French fry.
yo man, just love them.
I honestly can't
It
sit here
shows.
and say that there's one thing that I could say that I could eat for the rest of my life and be cool with. No. Not one thing.
It's really difficult, right?
I can't think of one
You
thing
gotta-
that I would just want
There's
to
got to be
eat.
variety.
But yeah, it's just like some things I don't want to eat anymore. Like my
The
diet
double
is
down.
changing so rapidly that I see things and be like, no, I don't want it. It's like I don't want nothing. I might eat once a day nowadays, literally. So it's like it's different, and this helps because it, it say it make you hungry. Not really. Just kind of curbs it.
It's the best spice, man. Like
Wow.
it enhances every single bit of food.
What?
Yeah, it helps me cook a lot because, like, for me, like,
Who you telling? Who are you telling? What? I've made some of the best meals while being hot.
exactly,
Literally
yeah.
just walking in the
Absolutely.
kitchen, finding anything in the refrigerator.
Mhm.
And being like, oh
Getting a little
my
creative,
God, this is amazing.
and you can feel like that little bit in your brain when you're like it happened to me recently where I was having some high chews.
You can taste it
Yeah.
before you make it.
I was having some high chews, and I was having like some Doritos that were like this fucking Mountain Dew flavor that was
Yeah.
like kind of weird, but I kind of liked. And
Was it
I
Baja
was having one after-
Blast, right? Baja
Yeah, the
Blast?
Baja Blast.
Jesus Christ.
How did you feel about those?
I didn't taste it yet. I heard about it. I was like, ugh. No.
I grabbed it because they were the cheapest thing at Walmart. They were like trying to let these guys go.
Please stop doing that. Stop grabbing the cheapest thing to eat. That's terrible.
I was curious. I was
Oh,
like,
God, no.
I saw mango and I'm like, all right.
All
I'm
right.
half Salvadorian. I see mango.
Nigga, okay.
I gotta try it out.
Okay.
Just rope you in.
So I grab it. I hate it initially, but then it starts to like turn where I'm like,
So,
this is kind of neat.
so what time tomorrow? This- See?
I
Okay,
don't know.
he's looking. Hi.
What's up, Sue?
All right, goodbye.
Oh, she's on the phone.
Is that
My
for us?
bad.
Is that for us?
No. She's on the phone.
And
I thought we were in.
She was on the phone.
it was
Sue's on the phone.
something like it was this really weird experience because like I couldn't tell if I hated it or if I liked it, and I kept eating them. And I bought like about 2 bags, and now I'm glad they're gone because like I was having the high chew and I had the Dorito, and I was like, yo, what if I mash the two together? I only live once, and I'm pretty baked.
Yeah.
I went for it.
No.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work out. Okay.
I wanted it to. I really wanted it to, man.
I was in my house one day,
It did.
and I didn't. There was nothing.
And I'm glad I tried it.
Oh yeah.
I went for it. I was like, fuck it, man.
I had some leftover Popeyes. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with this? I need to make something because I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, what do I have in here? I've never had chicken and waffles before. Let me go in this refrigerator. I got blueberry waffles. Oh, we work it. So I make it. I get it going. I refry the chicken again. I put it on there, butter everything up. I make the syrup. So I put butter in the syrup. Made it real nice. I put
Butter's
that
wonderful.
over the freaking chicken.
I put butter in everything, man.
It was the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. And I've never been able to reduplicate that again. Never again. Couldn't do it again. I tried. Couldn't do
It
it.
had to be probably the moment too.
Yeah, definitely the
Yeah,
moment.
the moment.
What it was. And
Like the realization, just the creativity kind of elevates it.
and I was
You try to
already
do it again, it's lightning in a bottle, man.
tasting it before I ate it. So when I ate it, I was so satisfied with it. And I was so high at the moment. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I was just in heaven at the moment. When I turned the TV on, it's it. It's good. Nothing else for the rest of the day. I'm good.
Oh man, cooking's a lot of fun.
I love cooking.
Yeah, me too.
Ed'll tell you.
Yeah. You make brisket.
Ribs, all that stuff.
Dad,
I'm
what's your
good.
favorite? Come on.
What's that?
What's your favorite munchie? Come on.
My favorite munchy food, just in general, just to watch like TV too, is like crackers and cheese. The toasty crackers, the toasty cheese at crackers, the real toasty ones. I like those.
Yes.
Some extra cheese on top of that, like a really sharp cheddar or something. If I can find like, Wisconsin or something good, I'll eat that.
Hey, Ed,
And some olives.
how Caucasian of you?
I know. I like fried chicken too.
You said crackers. Damn it. You like to snack on crackers.
You know, you guys are echoing again. You're
Thank you.
echoing.
Is that me?
You're echoing, and it's coming. You're like.
Let me do a.
Is it
so
through
are
here?
you.
I'll do a sound check right.
And I'm echoing too. I can hear myself.
Might be you.
Okay.
Might be me. I will test it right now.
I already said this.
I know.
Yeah, I don't hear any feedback from you, Sue.
All right, listen.
No,
Do you hear anything now?
I already said that.
Okay.
it's good. We're good here on this end. You might want
And
to.
she said it was fixed.
You might want to
Yeah.
Yeah.
re-log in.
She said it was fixed.
Oh.
Yeah, she just said it was fixed.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I had my headphones on.
Yeah. She said it was-
Okay.
I'm always changing my munchie food. Like right now, I'm on a high chew and like some sort of dry snack kick, either like a Chex Mix or some nuts or Cheez-Its, and then maybe a chip here or there. Now I'm like trying to cut down on it a bit because I snack too damn much, man. But you know,
It's kind of hard being a pothead and like
and not
Yeah, not
snacking.
trying to diet
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
because I'm trying to go a different way. I'm trying to diet, so it's like
You should try
But
fasting.
but you know, I think I got it down to a science. You know.
Yeah, you should try fasting.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like
what
if
I
you
do.
move around enough in the day, you won't
intermediate
even
fasting.
think about
try
eating,
shit like that. You know.
and then just eat when you feel like eating.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't force yourself to eat because everybody want to put themselves on that 3 meal a day thing, and you don't really need it. Honestly, you don't. I honestly can tell you, you'll feel better if you don't, because it'll be less food for your body to digest.
Yeah,
Food
yeah.
weigh you down.
Try to
Like,
minimize. You know.
all this right here weighs you down.
Yeah.
It really does. A good, honestly, a good cleansing, like every 2 months, do a laxative. It feels amazing.
And I did, but you know what? I started hanging out with Carlos, and he makes a great sandwich, a great bacon sandwich.
I could dig it.
And every
Carlos
morning,
is
yeah.
amazing shit.
Sometimes he makes a bacon
He's
sandwich,
gonna make
and I'm
a
like,
woman
wait
very
a
happy
minute.
one day. She's like,
You can't say no, man. You know?
Nice crispy bacon.
I honestly I didn't start making them until I moved here. They're not a big thing in Texas. In Texas, we do a lot of like kolaches and biscuits and pancakes and stuff. Usually, like I've been making the pancakes every once in a while when I can. I like cooking a lot. I mean, I like to try and be as active as I can too, but it's kind of gotten away from me. Like during COVID, I pretty much just didn't leave the house, streamed all the time. Like that. Like the reason I got to know Andre was I would do like 8. Sometimes like the longest stream I ever did was 36 hours, I think 36 or 38 hours. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I would stream like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, just whenever I wanted to, and just go as long as I wanted to, and then go to sleep, wake up, cook something. It's not the best thing. I gained a bit of weight and whatnot, but like since I moved here, I found like a really nice balance. I've actually been losing like a lot more weight, and working with Pete these last month has been great. And for real, man, like this is like the best I've felt in a good while. When Andre went to go help Pete out, I was like, hey, why didn't you tell me? I would have gone. It's been really, really, really good activity. Yeah, man.
Look, we working for you more ways than one.
It helps, man. Like it helps with joint pain. It helps like
not even just that. It has helped you find a society to get you out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I
Out of
said
Texas.
We are
more ways than one.
Super focused on getting the dispensary open right now. So
that's good.
We're running around, getting materials, just running around everywhere.
Yeah.
With a truck and doing other jobs.
Yep.
We did a roof.
Yep.
We went and did a roof, and came out real great.
It's an amazing truck too, dude.
1984.
We were able to do like some really cool stuff, like hauling a ton of stuff off a roof, and we were able to park this thing in a back lot behind the property that we were working at, and it just fit, and it's like so maneuverable, and it is able to haul just enough for what we need. It's a fucking great find. Pete's got this innate ability of finding like solutions that are really creative, but also like low budget,
inexpensive.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk too much about what we want to do in the future, but we would love to help with cannabis waste management and cannabis waste removal. But that's something that it's in the works.
What is that?
Basically,
it's basically
EPA, very EPA oriented. A lot of rules and regulations on that. A lot of the facilities are restrictive on what we're allowed to bring there. Like it's got to be hemp. It's got to be 0.03 below to some facilities. If it's above that, then they'll obviously consider it a controlled substance, and then you'd have a different license to transport it. And we're coming up with ways, new strategies that we're going to present to the CRC, our own strategy on how to properly process, distill into waste, and take those products as they are, and then transfer them into a less cost, less overhead, so to speak, facility.
That's the key.
Yeah. So we're working with a laboratory that will come out and actually test it before we take it away. really interesting stuff that we're looking into. So it's
Because
not just waste
there's
management. It's
like there's a lot of stuff to think about. Like carts, for example, is something I'm always thinking about because I go through quite a bit, and I hold on to them because I hope to like maybe scavenge like a dab out of there. I don't know if you've ever done that, but like you can usually like try and like crack the cart open, maybe with like a little fucking like anything that you can get that's pointy and goes in.
There's always something in there.
Yeah, there's always at least one little thing, one little last crumb. And when you've got like 10 suckers and like 2 hours of free time
It adds up.
and teeth or something to clamp, you could fish something out. But I'm thinking, like, dude, I've got this collection of like now 50 fucking cards, and I don't want to just throw them away. Like, I think how many people are in that kind of situation too? How many people just fucking toss these things? There's a there's a lot of potential there for that to be like a solution that people can come up with, and hopefully we can be on the forefront of that, or at least like bring something to the table, because like we got to be really conscious about our waste and where it goes. No one wants to live amongst the trash that we create.
Oh, you mean like a recycle plant?
Yeah. I would like to see something like having recycling plants.
No, it's not a recycling plant. It's something different. It's like
Yeah.
it's more like we can
There.
basically take the some waste. Let's say something expires. We take that and we mix it with soil, and then we can dispose of it in
Expired
trash.
weed. What do you do with expired weed?
Correct.
now it's 6
more,
months.
That's
every,
more the where
every
we're
dispensary
talking
has to
about.
deal with it.
Yeah.
6
I was,
months, it's
like
gone.
with carts. I was talking about like that's something to think about like in the future, because like I have
That's what I was
it's something I'm like I'm wondering about myself.
That would be
But
great.
it's mostly concentrated on processing that waste, what you do with it, because CRC is very specific about making sure that the product has an expiration date, and that once it expires, you can't sell it. You can't give it to anybody.
So I have a question.
So
You can use it yourself, though, right?
all of it goes in the trash.
You can
Oh,
use
no,
it
no.
yourself.
but
If it's
real
already
quick.
purchased, and it goes past the date, it's your choice, obviously. If you wanna-
Okay, that's cool.
So you
But
can just use it.
my second thing is, can you guys take it and have it made into some type of concentrate?
That's the CRC regulations are very stringent upon expired
Well, yeah, that's
products.
what I'm
So
asking the
it's
question.
just making sure it's
Well, no. I don't even mean
Yeah.
after expire. I mean before it
right
expires.
before.
Can you
Yes.
take it and turn it into something else?
Well, Andres was telling me that the
And
manufacturers like some top manufacturers, like the big guys, smaller guys can't really afford. Will actually pull back on the product. They'll bring it back in
Yeah.
if we haven't sold it, or if it's getting to that week or 2 weeks out. We obviously going to be worried.
Of course.
But if it's a month away, I think we'd start reaching out to the
yeah,
distributors. We've got a bunch of it.
I
Yeah.
would probably do it in 2 months because
Yeah.
to be safe. Like
Exactly.
4 month.
We don't wanna
window.
get-
If you don't
Exactly.
sell most of it in 4 months, then have it turned in within the 2
Exactly.
months, so you can have some time to sell it. Even
sure they
within that expiration date.
Exactly what you're saying, though. They would be wise to do something with it, in the background. We don't know what their rules and regulations are because the manufacturer has to have and abide by their own rules and regulations. But the product itself has to be fresh, and that's something that we like about the CRC. They've pushed that, and
Yeah, sure.
there's more turnover. There's fresher product, and it keeps less of that older stuff from
So
getting out there in the market.
what if your suppliers were willing to after a certain amount of time willing to take your excess back, turn it into something, and give it back to you guys for you to sell?
And
it
that's
back
usually
to
what
back?
happens, actually.
Yeah, so
after
that
the
would
6
cut
months-
down on a lot of waste.
After the 6-month period,
Yeah.
you have to obviously throw it out. So
Yeah.
either they pay you back for that product and take it back
Okay.
so they can dispose of it, or they buy it back from you in another way. Either way, it goes back to them.
Okay.
What they do with
Well,
it
we-
on the back
yeah.
end, we don't know.
Yeah, what we want to do is we want to help them take that waste and turn it into
something else.
something that can be thrown into the garbage, and the garbage can be incinerated or can be
Safely.
turned into compost or something like that.
Okay, but what I said was, I guess a little bit better because it reduces the waste in the first place, so to make it more consumed by the consumer. So
You can't just like throw away cannabis.
No, no,
can't
no,
go
no.
into
I don't
the
mean
garbage
like
and
that.
go
I
like-
mean beforehand,
Before it gets to the
Yeah.
expiration.
before it even gets there.
Yeah.
So
Like the
if
2
you got a
months.
6 month period,
Right.
within a 3.5, 4 month period, if that doesn't sell, you should be starting to try and turn it into something else that will
They
sell.
won't do it. You can't. You have to.
Well, I don't mean you. I'm
It's-
just asking the question.
No, basically the rules don't say that. The rules say that if the product expires, it's done.
No, but
Well,
2 months
before.
prior. 2 months
2
prior.
months
2
prior.
months prior.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
And
you
then
can
they
send
reach-
it back and have it turned into something else 2 months prior to
that would
its
be the
expiration.
wisest thing to do.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And that would take
That
away
sounds-
a
that sounds
lot
like
of
a great
the
idea.
excess. So if you
I don't
guys
know.
could work that out, that would actually work for the your suppliers as well, because they will have less waste.
And wouldn't that extend the expiration of it if turning it
That's
to wax?
that's a
From
manufacturer.
what I know- from what I know-
Second thing, that was the second
Because
question.
you still think the 2 months is only left out of that product. So, we don't know what their rules are as far as on the back end of the manufacturer side of it. But if they turned it into, say, mini pre-rolls, the minis are becoming very, very
people
popular.
grab them. And
So
go.
then they might reduce down those larger pre-rolls to minis,
Mhm.
and then they'll
Go.
sell quicker because they're like, what are they, $10 now? Is that correct? For a mini pre-rolls, $10,
Yeah.
$15. So
Yeah.
those are a very saleable item.
You could do that.
They'll go out quick,
That's a big one.
and then it still has that expiration date. So yeah, they got to go quick. So they go on sale.
I'm pretty sure, guys,
It's just a waste.
not to like burst everyone's bubble on shit like that, but there's a regulation somehow that you have to get rid of it,
Yeah.
and you can't turn it into something after you
But-
after you had it into something. You can't turn it into something else.
Right.
But
Somehow-
we're talking 2 months
Yeah.
before it gets to that point.
Yeah.
That's what
There's
this
there's
one
there's a regulation in there, I believe, that
That's
says
a good point. man.
specifically that, and so it's always about the regulation.
Yeah.
Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to use what is written in the law, which says that as a cannabis company, we are able to generate cannabis waste because we carry cannabis product.
I'm not saying you
So
won't.
our products are
won't
going to
have to.
somehow go to waste.
I was just
So
saying.
they need us to be able to get rid of it. So we have an SOP, a waste management SOP to get rid of it, right?
Of course.
And so we try to follow that, and it says that as a self generator, we can get rid of cannabis and take it to the dump if we mix it with soil. So if you get soil that it's something that you buy,
Yeah.
try to do
The
You know.
correct way. Yeah.
minimize the cost as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so maybe dirt, literally dirt and bud. Turn it into garbage, something that can be just discarded in the waste, because the waste management, the way everything works, they only take certain types of garbage, they only take it a certain way, and it's all very regulated, and so we just need to follow those.
And it's EPA regulation.
Yes. Yeah.
And you got to remember, like, as a market, the Jersey market's still really, really new. And these are always like, this is like maybe 2 years in. There's always going to be new questions and new changes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, getting involved in like reading through like what the CRC requires and whatnot. One of the things I've noticed is that what I would hope, trying to prevent is a lot of like the bigger market players just kind of coming in, flooding the market with cheaper products and then grabbing a foothold. One of the things we have to remember, like, as people who live here on the East Coast, you want to really try and support the growers that are here already. There's a lot of really, really great, like, bigger players like Fernway, Verano's really, really, really nice. I've been liking a lot of their products as well. And I think hopefully that's what the CRC is like focused on. It would just be nice for them to be a little bit more communicative with people, because like when you try to get like more clarification on like a very specific subject, it can take a little bit of time. hearing
That you
back
guys
from them,
don't have.
if at all. Yeah, yeah.
I think it's right. I think it's right. I mean, the CRC doesn't communicate too well when it comes to having a set of rules to a location, and that's why we're here. We're here because we wanted to know how do we make our facility compliant to everybody. I mean, compliant to the state. Because how can you have a facility without access for a handicap? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Handicap access is a must. It should be like the
Should
law.
be a priority.
And
Yeah.
I see it in most businesses. I'm not gonna lie. There's some businesses that do have it, but I when you guys start saying that, wait a minute, there's like a whole bunch of dispensaries that have all this, all these resources. They have all this money, and they can't make a ramp. I mean, come on, man. That's like, to me, that's
Or even a friggin'
poor management, and there's oversight, and there's so many levels of like incompetence. And so, we're just trying to stay ahead of the game and you know be more proactive than them.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
And you guys definitely are. I can't thank you guys enough because it's a big deal. A lot of people reached out to me with different issues, like sensory problems. Here's an example. This is a few years ago. Somebody had a unlit candle, scented candle, in their dispensary, and it affected somebody with a sensory issue. Yeah, and they had to leave, and they had to get rid of the candle so she can go buy her medicine, but it was affecting her. You have to understand, a lot of people have a lot of different illnesses, and even say counter space coming out for blind people, it may be a shock because you're not expecting some counter right there. So like standpipes, counter spaces, just things that are protruding, unnecessarily. Got to watch for that for blind people. And we were talking about menus for deaf people, menus for blind people, talking menus, all that. They were there.
We want to hear about that, because
Yeah.
I'm very curious about what you have to say, because you have experience in this, and we want to know what type of product and what type of technology is out there for blind people. And you said there was like voice activated things and braille. We want to use also braille because that's universal, but like if we use also voice, that's interesting to me. And I was wondering if you had done research on anything like that, or if you know any of that technology even exists. Because right now AI, it's very popular. It's what's right now what's in the market. If you know how to use AI, it gives you a big edge. So I've seen a lot of like gimmicks that's being done with AI. One of them that is really, to me, it just makes me laugh, is the Biden versus Trump AI, which is two AIs going at each other, and they've been going at each other for months now because the stream doesn't end. So they just unleashed two AIs, one of Trump, one of Biden, and they go at each other and insult each other, and it just doesn't end, and it's hilarious. But they offer the service of, they can help you create your own AI. It responds to chat. So like if you have like a chat, you can have the AI respond to you in a way. You could tell a joke, it could have a greeting, whatever. The AI, in fact, and that I'm talking about, is really, really brutal, and it insults you, and it really just like, it beats you down. You know what I mean? It's a really funny AI. But to be honest with you, I always wanted to have something that if you can sort of come to the display where the the brand, whatever brand it is, you come over and the display itself sort of like, okay, it starts talking to you maybe. Like, hey, how are you?
Like a kiosk.
Or
Yeah.
kiosk.
Yeah.
You know, that would be really cool. Yeah.
Cannabis kiosk. Can of kiosk.
Key is somehow keeping it low so that it doesn't disturb each other, but somehow make it work.
Low key.
Some type of AI. I don't know.
I love it.
Very interesting with the Braille. My stepmom actually helped with the Braille
There you go.
situation.
Yeah, pull it over to
very interesting with the Braille. My stepmother actually helped at all crosswalks in, I believe it was in New Jersey and New York. She actually was one of the lead people to push and make it happen, putting Braille on traffic light signals, like on the actual button. So when people walk up to it, that was actually my stepmom. She created that, and she became an honorary sheriff because of that. They gave her just one day, just made her honorary.
My mind's blown right now.
Yeah. So that's something my stepmom did, and I'm very proud of what she did. And
because I was so ignorant to those lights, I didn't know they were for.
this little Braille.
I didn't know.
Yep. And she was the one to make it happen.
Because we're fighting for a light like that on Broadway now.
Really?
Yeah, we want a talking light. On my wheelchair, it says we're fighting for a talking light for blind people, and that's what we want here.
Okay.
And we have another diorama of Avenue C when we got the light on Avenue C. But in my ignorance, I didn't get the light that was talking on Avenue C because I didn't know about it. A blind person reached out to me and told me that we need a light here.
Right.
When he saw me out here, and like, can you get the light for blind people? I'm like, what's that, Jimmy? He's like, a light that talks. I'm like, whoa. Okay, so I got the signs. I'm like, now I'm fighting for a talking light.
Great.
And I was ignorant.
And but how good are these lights? Like, do they have sensors to make
Yeah.
sure there's no traffic coming by, things like that?
Well, yeah, they have sensors.
Like, I just want to make sure that
the
like
sensors
these
go with the
things
light,
are like.
so it'll say walk.
So it has
walk.
also it has a
So when
sensor.
the light
So
turns red
there's
on
no
this side
traffic.
for you to go, it'll say
no,
walk.
just make sure like
Walk.
make sure.
Directional speakers.
Let's say
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's say somebody does some asshole just runs the light. Does it have some type of warning thing or no?
No,
I mean, there's no.
can't do nothing for that.
Or but it when it says walk, it's a free pass. It has a sensor to oh, that's good to know, because the technology, it should be available, and I think it's very interesting. It's very interesting, like to have somebody just walk up and it talks to you, and then
Yeah, it tells you where you're at too, and
Very
where
good.
you're facing, what direction you're facing. You're facing southwest towards this building.
yeah, that's really interesting.
Wow.
That's a really good script, actually. What you just said, it blows my mind. It just makes me think of ideas. You know, when you say that, because it's really, it could be set up in a way if you do it the right way. You know, we just want to give our customers the best experience we can give. That's why the access to our building is number one priority.
Yeah.
We have to have a nice, good access to it. We have a lot of work to do. In fact, we have these concrete ballers that we have to install. There's still a lot of things we got to do, and the business is competitive. We got competition. We got other people that also have other dispensaries that want to open, and we're all trying to get open. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but it's just like, it gives us a little bit of encouragement, motivation to just get out there.
Definitely.
So you guys, so you guys just hang out here, just smoke and talk about stuff, huh?
Yes,
It's really
that's
cool,
pretty
man.
much the gist of it.
Yeah. No, I never, had time to log in.
You were a streamer at one point, man. Weren't you doing something
So-
essentially like this?
So no, what I did streaming, the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Streaming is so easy. All you have to do is press a button, literally.
And nowadays it's so
Yeah.
user friendly.
So it's like, to me, it was like, okay, so I can just stream and then just hang out. Okay, cool, boom. I did that, and that's it.
Pretty much. That's how it works.
That's how I felt.
That's how it works.
And but I never felt like I needed to take it to another level or anything like that. If I wanted to do it the right way, and I tell him to do it, just put some money into it, so that it like this. This is nice. This is very nice. To keep something nice like this, a little studio. This is a very nice studio,
Thank you.
and you know, this is awesome, man.
Our main studio is the State House lawn.
And this thing,
That's how this started.
Ooh, this thing is amazing.
This is fun. This is actual pictures that we blew up.
Look how it
Yeah.
looks on the-
So down my alley, bro. So
It's awesome.
Yeah, can you
so
see
you
that?
just passed the blunt.
Hold on. Let me,
Yeah. Really cool, man.
You can do.
I never
stuff with
really
reach,
thought
man.
about that, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'm just like, just pass it to the left, you know, pass the Dutchie to the left hand side. That's all I know, bro. Puff, puff, pass.
I got really into streaming like during the pandemic as well. And like I ended up doing it for like 3 years and building like a nice little decent thing for myself. And just it does take a lot of money, man. It takes a lot of money and effort. Especially like with the gear that you got to track down.
Oh yeah, the dabs are very expensive. And when I used to sell dabs, you know, in the legacy market, because I have some legacy in there.
Like I really love the like.
You know, I never used to smoke it because I felt like it was too expensive for me to smoke it. I just smoked the bud.
So
but it's like it was. I just sold it. I was
But
like, nah, man.
such a better
You
high.
want it? Cool. But I didn't really got into it. I just felt like, whatever, man. It's fucking a concentrate. I'm not into it. I just want to smoke fucking flower. In fact, if you look at the sales of in New Jersey, flower is the #1 seller in the state. I think it is doing like 40%. 40%. So people are actually preferring to smoke the flower, old school.
over texture, over
Yeah.
edibles. There's
You
not
know what I
really many edibles yet, but there will be.
It's just
It's because there's a lot of very specific stuff that you have to do with regards to those edibles. For example, like you can't call them gummies; they have to be called soft lozenges. There's a lot of regulation on the amount of sugar that you can put on it because you can't make it too candy-like, because they really don't want the market to end up like it was in California and Colorado, where you have a lot of stuff piggybacking off of existing brands, doing like Gushers and like M&Ms and stuff. That's a problem because there's a big copyright dispute that can pop up, and also the idea that it shouldn't be marketed to kids, and even making it those kind of brands brings that in. So that's what they really want to prevent. When I was reading a lot of the regulation, I saw that was their big priority, is preventing that. So like, there's only so many ways you can sell a little square of either pectin or gelatin and have it maybe like flavored differently.
Yeah.
But hopefully the CRC in time will expand, maybe let people try and like focus a little bit more on flavors, and because I've had some edibles recently that do kind of taste better than some of their like competitors.
Particular, we were talking about time release, like the time release of an edible kicking in, say, 30, most likely 45 minutes later, and I can vote on that because I think I had like way too much. This one Super Bowl, my friend's like, here, have an edible. I'm like, I didn't do anything. And I had another one. No, the package was there. I'm just like, they're like little gummy worm things. So I'm like, another one. This doesn't work. And 45 minutes later, I'm like,
tsunami.
What happened? I think I was hugging the toilet. I was like, oh no, this is not good. So, but something interesting that you tried recently that I'd like you to comment on was a product that we're looking
Mojo?
into. Correct.
Yeah, Mojo
And
was
the
really
quick
good.
release.
Yeah,
I think the timing.
the thing that
the
they
new
were
products
doing
coming out.
that was interesting,
Very interesting.
was they're using pectin, which is really cool. Pectin's something you can get from just any plant, and mostly like fruits and whatnot. It's a type of sugar. It's very like structurally really malleable, so you can mold it into like a nice
melt
little like
in your car.
It doesn't melt in your car because it's a lot
Very
more
important about
because it's extracted from like plant and fruit fibers.
Yep.
It's a lot stronger, like temperature resistant. And Mojo was able to make some really soft, nice, very tasty, because they did just enough little bit of sugar and pretty quick release too.
How, and that's the most important part, because obviously, a seasoned person such as yourself,
Well, I mean,
that 10,
edibles
15
too.
minute window, for
Edibles are
somebody who's
really
seasoned.
complicated because like everybody's liver responds differently with having it metabolized.
Right.
I also recently had a brand called Valhalla that I got from Primo down in Keyport.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we
they
were down
also
the
were
bank.
kind of similar with that kind of quick time release.
Really?
They didn't use the pectin though. They were using, I'm pretty sure it was a gelatin,
So,
but it was a fairly like it hit within around 20 minutes as opposed to like the usual 40 or so minutes that I would feel from
it was just interesting how the other one hit so much quicker,
Yeah,
and
it
just
was really, really
educating people who have never really done it before, or let's say, they don't want to get that 45-minute window. All of a sudden, it hits you in your face. Like it literally, I can vote on it, and like it was not fun. But let's say you just want to take like that 10 milligram amount, and then light one up Saturday night, you just be in that perfect zone. And I'm not by any means an experienced smoker, but from what I understand, like that edible, if it gets you just right, and then you smoke something right after it that's not really crazy high in THC, like nothing like a pre-roll that's infused or something like that, but an edible along with some nice flour, would really put you in that perfect place.
Works together.
Yeah.
They work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Context with each other. That's amazing.
Just the right amount.
Yeah, I just mix whatever I got, like a pen,
Salad.
cool, dab, cool. I got a little bit of flour, cool, great, all of it together, all at once.
But having a seasoned person like yourself,
Oh,
say that a 10, 15-minute window kicked in on an edible,
Oh, yeah,
that was
I
important
was
to me.
really
as
impressed. I was really impressed.
as a dispensary owner, we really, as owners, we want to know what the products do, each and every one, to educate our consumers. It's really important.
And a lot of it is how you approach people. And like I'm going to be in charge of a lot of this counter sales and a lot of the customer service. And what I hope to bring is just a pretty personable style, just getting to know people, letting them know honestly what I think of like products, but also being considerate of the people who provide us these products, because like I want to make sure that the market here in the East grows and that jobs are made here that people can get access to, because this is the area I live in. We hope that it grows into like an industry that like is independent and not flooded with a bunch of inferior product that comes from like, another coast. Because how are you going to get mad? Like there's not, you buy something that's like really crappy from like California, and what are you going to do here like in Jersey? You're going to call their line and complain? I'd rather live in a Jersey where a lot of the stuff I know is being grown locally.
Yep.
I can go and like harangue somebody and be like, hey, you said this was going to taste like mango and it tastes like toes, man. What's up with that shit?
Yeah, right.
But
Door-to-door complaints.
Yeah.
Another thing we're doing too, we put on part of our protocol while we're building our dispensaries, go visit every single dispensary in Jersey. I think we're not even a quarter of the way there right now, because there's I think
We've
over
covered
120 open right now.
We've covered the good
going
local
undercover.
area. We've covered the area where we live, and we've seen a lot of interesting things.
Yes.
I don't want to say anything like bad about anything here in public forum, but it's been interesting. Like the one thing I can definitely note is access isn't always a priority amongst a lot of the things I've seen. And that's disappointing, but hopefully that's something that will change over time, as long as there are people out there advocating, and,
Like
there are
you
going to be
guys.
dispensaries out there also, hopefully, like adhering to like a good open protocol. Eventually, I think the market's going to be really interesting and coalesce into something that hopefully will be really, really local. That's one of the things I really love about this coast that I've appreciated. I'm from Texas. Texas also has that very much like we want to stand on our own and be our own kind of thing, and we succeed to like a weird sort of okay kind of standard. We have Whataburger and HEB. They're great. They're the best. Sorry, America. You can't beat us at grocery stores. We're the absolute best. We're kings. HEB is really, really good. We're really good. And Kroger, they try harder in Texas, and they're really good. They're better in Texas. I don't think they're from Texas, but they try hard. Anyways, I like the East Coast. Y'all are really, really about having your own identity. There's so much local food and so many great local diners, so much local flavor and so much passion about it. And I'm hoping the cannabis market turns into something that too, something distinct, so that way people decide they're going to come over and smoke Jersey weed or smoke New York weed, and also maybe visit like the amazing restaurants and all the other kind of attractions that like exist uniquely here, because that's hopefully one of the like big nice things about cannabis is that it brings people together. It brings them out.
I think more and more 420 friendly locations, like the social clubs, things like that, they're starting to pop up now. Especially if there's a huge one, correct me if I'm wrong, in Atlantic City, right next to Hard Rock, going to be opening up pretty soon. We met the owners at one of the expo centers that we went to, and wow, we're kind of blown away. They're going to be supposedly open 24 hours. That's their goal, and I'm like, okay.
How many hookahs? There's
So-
got to at least be one. You can't run a 24-hour weed place, not at least have one.
Well,
like
it's
one
Atlantic
hookah.
City. There should be plenty of them down there.
At least one. I've never smoked weed out of a hookah because it's like you got to use a
Down
shitload
there.
of weed.
I mean, gambling is legal down there.
It's a 24-hour
So
town.
it's a very special place. Let's just say that it's a very special place.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll happen. 24 hour, no doubt.
But more and more 420 friendly places just to socialize, I think is going to be great. And keeping it safe, making sure people aren't
That's
crazy,
the big thing. That,
crazy
like,
under the influence.
everyone's got to be really diligent about safety and accessibility. If that's a thing that I think can be like that combo, if everyone can adhere to that kind of stuff with how they approach the business, not just some way to quickly make money, we could have a really unique and amazing market that brings people to this coast and creates jobs and interest.
I think the never-ending exit out of the social club where there's just munchies forever,
Mhm.
like
there's
exiting.
Open a snack store, somebody
burgers
next there,
everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
confess, the first
All day.
time
on the way out.
when I first
They just literally can't get out until they.
when I first had the license,
Maze.
when I first had the license, there was this building in Jersey City,
Mango.
okay, that had a liquor license attached.
Hot
to it.
dogs.
Okay, you guys have to listen to this. So my business plans was to have a liquor license and a restaurant in there,
Oh boy.
Wow.
and it would have been great. But
Dreams.
there's so much regulations and so many things to go through.
So-
To get even a restaurant out, imagine putting cannabis,
But wait,
connecting it to cannabis.
but wait.
It's like
Just what if you put it like adjacent or next door, just away
we
from
did. We had a spot that we tried to get, but that we couldn't get, and it would have been perfect. Maybe it would have worked out. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Having both things is amazing, but
You
it's
guys
somebody
could be
has to
tiered
be established.
just
Yeah, the
for
CRC is
places.
really strict about like
like if you were
Like
gonna
somebody
do-
has
about, like,
a
food.
restaurant already, and
Right.
It'd be nice for them to, like-
It would have to be some type of thing like that because it's so hard to start a restaurant.
do it somewhere else though.
The sprinkler system, right, Peter?
Yep.
The sprinkler system, the fire system,
Well, yeah, of
suppression
course that
system.
I could understand.
No,
those things.
all of those things add up to so much in an investment that it makes you think, okay, no, maybe not, because you have to have the place, hold the place. Maybe the inspector doesn't come, they don't show
That's why
up.
it makes so much sense in Vegas or Atlantic City, where people are not going to be using their wheels to drive around under the influence. Can actually enjoy. Obviously, you can go overboard and not worry about having an incident on the street. So keeping it safe like that, and if you could find a social club that would provide transportation safely, back and forth, and that maybe just never-ending munchie stop on the way back where they just get nice and sober.
just
And
like a big city
Yeah.
of chips.
exactly
Yeah,
in the bus,
towers that you could reach,
in the bus or in the
like a
cab.
section of pretzels, Pretzel Town, Sausage City, like different
Yeah, I like that.
Olive Town,
I like
all
that.
these. Yeah, just a big city of snacks.
just to get home safe.
Somebody could
That's
do
the
it.
idea. We want to get them home
Yeah.
safe.
But getting back to like the CRC, they're very strict about food. They don't want any businesses doing like cannabis food and whatnot.
No.
And it's really kind of ridiculous. But I think what they're concerned about from their perspective is a health and safety issue. Because when you get into food, health and safety is a very, very, very strict thing.
Mhm.
It's very important. One person dying from any one dish is
Done.
not a thing. Anyone ever wants. But like
No,
there was
it has to be
has to be
definitely
very clean.
No, it's not clean. It has to be restricted and it can be used on food. I
Yeah.
feel like if you're gonna put your weed on something edible, might as well put it in your drink.
Yeah.
So what you do is, my idea was like, okay, instead of selling you a salad with a bunch of like weed on it, just put something like this on, just go like on your burger or whatever.
I don't think anyone does that.
And I mean, literally,
That's not
you can-
edible,
you can-
dude.
that's literally what you can try to
It
do.
was the
Watch it.
noise.
What is you want? What
It
is
was the
what-
noise.
you have a bar and you say, okay, my food has cannabis in it.
Ah,
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just
I mean,
take
the
a-
dressing.
take
Yeah,
one of
the
those pens-
dressing for the salad
yeah,
could
the
have,
pen and just go like
you know,
that.
the cannabis in it, which would be
But
perfect.
I feel like that
Yeah.
shouldn't go on a burger. That
Sure.
should never go on a burger ever. So you should always put it in your drink. So what you do is you make a nice drink with like ice and
Yeah,
like
there's
But-
a lot of seltzers.
But why not on the burger?
some-
What's wrong with the burger?
because it'll be edible. And your stomach
I'm with you.
might not be able to
Special
handle.
sauce, make it even more special.
No, it's
I don't know about that
something
special
that
sauce, but I like the
wouldn't
burger.
mess with food. Food is so
I've done it.
sacred.
I've done it though. I've made like THC barbecue sauce.
Yeah, we had sampled a THC infused coconut oil. I used
The honey.
all of it. Yeah. There was some really really great honey
Honey
too.
as well, yeah.
It's something that I think
Mhm.
can
It's
happen
spaghetti.
in the future. They're very strict about it right now. For example, there was a local business that was trying to sell butter.
Yeah, I
Their
had butter.
specialty was butter.
I had butter,
Yeah,
and I made
And-
spaghetti with it.
and they were trying to make that a business, and they made a really really good product. The CRC was really really strict about
Strict
it,
about it, yeah.
and they said no, you can't do it. They really want to keep it separate, and I think it's because of health and safety issue, and that's understandable. But hopefully, maybe as the market evolves, that's another avenue that it can open up into. If somebody out there wants to do like a cannabis food,
I
kind of
probably
It's
shouldn't
unlikely.
say
It's unlikely.
this.
It's unlikely because the people that can do cannabis butter probably don't want to do. It's because they're focused on something else. Manufacturers are focused because it's a dairy product.
yeah,
Things that go-
exactly. It's a dairy product.
something
It's a
that
health.
goes-
it's a health food product,
the
yeah.
cow,
I get it.
getting that out of the public and into cannabis. Basically, what they look at it is, okay, you're taking the milk that can be made for something good to put it into cannabis. Might not work that way. If you want to use water, or you want to use, a fruit,
Of course.
which is always good. You know what I mean?
You're super baked.
What I was gonna say.
No,
before,
I thought of everything.
but people should have the ability to make their own choice. Just like if I want to pick up a joint, as long as my leg and smoke it, I have that
Oh, for
choice.
sure.
So where is the regulation coming from? What do you think I'm going to get too stoned from the
Yes,
meal?
you could.
Okay, I could get too stoned
You can
from
get
a blunt,
you
as
can,
long as
you
my
can have an
arm,
accident. You can have an accident on the way home.
You know,
we
it
are
could
liable
be
for it.
nothing.
So like if let's say you come to us and we
I
smoke,
understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
a
you
liability
go to
issue
the
is a
it's
big
a
thing.
liability.
in the dispensary
It's a
and then
big,
getting in your car and driving
big
home.
liability for
That's
us
bad.
as
Yeah,
a
I
business
get it.
owner.
I understand.
That is for us is very, our customers are very like
Oh no, that makes total sense.
sacred.
It's
Sacred.
kind of like buying liquor from the liquor
So-
store and drinking it
Right there in the
outside,
car.
then hopping in your
For
car
us,
and going home.
It will be a huge liability.
No,
Have to come for you to come to our facility, get really really fucked up,
stoned and then drive home.
and then
something
right
happened.
and something happens.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
and then-
I understand that.
That's a big
That is
thing that
where
they take
that
into
comes
consideration.
But I have to say this because it's in the same sentiment. How does that work for Cubs?
from. Exactly. Then they're
How does
waiting
that
for you.
work?
They're waiting for you
Work,
around
yeah.
the corner.
So
Because
that's,
they get you drunk out of your mind and let you leave.
well, like it's up to the bartender to kind
I
of.
totally get it, but you're still drunk.
Yeah, but
So-
if the bartender,
Simply
if
see
the
that
bar, if something happens to one of the,
Go ahead, Sue.
if something happens to that person and they know that that person came from that bar, the bartender
Yep.
takes the rap too.
Big liability, and you get in big trouble.
Big. Yeah,
So
they-
we
they're supposed to
think that's
take
not
your
good.
keys from you.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the safest
And
thing
it's
to do.
it's still a really young market with cannabis, and we're still only just now getting like a handle on like patterns of usage and how people are able to function with it, like like how it affects their driving and whatnot. And it's a really difficult thing to keep track of and to police. It's definitely so that's definitely why the CRC is probably very, very like against having like going all out and letting people make cannabis restaurants and whatnot. Maybe in the future in like designated areas, like an area like Atlantic City, that kind of works because if it's a 24-hour town, you can and you're doing it for tourism. There's an idea in there.
Snackers. This is called Snackers.
Have you ever gotten that hydro from like the 2000s? Remember the back in the 2000s, that hydro that used to come that was really green? Who the fuck makes that now?
Maine.
I'm sorry, pardon my French.
Maine.
Pardon my French. Yeah, sorry. But yeah.
Maine has the best cannabis on the East
Really,
Coast.
really.
Yeah.
I would love to have that in my store
Jersey will soon though.
because that cannabis was the best. I just remember how good it was when you could get ounces of the real hydro.
Mm.
The one that was like really green, really nice. You were like, oh man.
It's like fruit punch. So I'm gonna mix this. I'm gonna ruin it and mix it with some cherry. Hooten? Cherry? What the hell is it called? He knows the name of it. Cherry Paloma. Paloma.
Paloma means
That's bird, right?
Dove.
It's a dove.
Yeah, maybe it's Paloma.
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 So tell us about yourself, man, because we want to know about you, man. We love that you go to the House of Representatives. That you went all the way out there. That's pretty awesome. I know how hard it is to get something through to the city. We feel like, why are you having such an issue trying to get it passed? Because it seems like it's a no-brainer. What's going on?
Police stations. When I say police stations have no access, and it's like it just doesn't
Police
make
stations?
sense. Police
Isn't it
stations,
police
a few of them, and post offices, and I'm like, and I go to the town councils, and they're like, oh, "There's nothing we can do about it. It's grandfathered in, and we'll have a new building in a couple of years." And like, whoa, it just blows my mind that we have this issue. And I see what my friends went through, how my friends suffered. A lot of my friends, had cancer and multiple sclerosis, and they're in wheelchairs trying to get into these places, and they can't get in. And it's frustrating. Jim Miller will tell you, his wife Cheryl had multiple sclerosis, and he used to push her around it was like a gurney almost. It was like a wheelchair, but laid down, so she could lay down. And she had a lot of problems getting into buildings and stuff. They had to carry you into a few buildings.
Nice.
And a light bulb went off one day, and I'm like, this is a fixable problem. We can fix this.
Cherry.
Yeah, cherry Paloma. So I'm gonna mix that in with this
Cherry dove.
and make it a little salad. And Bear, can I have a paper or a wrap, please?
Sure.
And I'm gonna put this in the chong roller, which rolls a conish joint. Not a cone, but a conish joint.
So what do you think your next steps are for pushing or like, do you want to get lobbyists involved? Are you looking for more political support?
Yes. Yeah, we're not getting that. There's a disconnect here. There's a definite disconnect because I asked Frank Pallone.
Where's the law? Where does the law say? Does it go by towns or is it a state law?
There's a federal law that says you have to.
Federal. So the
federal law that was passed in '93, but it allows for businesses to grant.
These people work for the federal government, right?
And you got police stations and post offices.
Oh my God.
That whole time, yeah. And it's just, I don't get it. And I've been to a bunch of them, and I've set up ramps, and I've actually gone in there, and they called the police on me for doing that. They said, "You can't film in here. You can't." Okay. Well, we did.
So you guys, we were surprised when you came on the CRC and started talking about it, and we were just discussing that very topic about what are we going to do to make sure that our facility, because we, in fact, are cutting prices, and you saved us a lot of money, man.
See how God works?
Yeah, you saved us a lot of money
Down the
by
road,
going down
Yeah.
to our facility. We want to thank you personally for that. We want to. Can we? Is there any certification or letter that you can give us from you that you know that can certify it? And because we feel like it's a great thing that you came down, because we were going to spend a lot of money to break the sidewalk and make it like this and that, and make it like this. We do this.
Compliant. Make
Yeah.
it ADA compliant. Yeah.
But what you said is perfect. It's like, no, just do this.
Do what the other guy did.
Yeah. Well, but not
Works.
better. I felt like we can do a better job.
8 feet out because you get
Yeah.
an 8-inch step.
We're gonna make it look
8 feet out.
seamless, like it's like you know what I mean, just nice. And we hope that solves everything. We also have the option of those two extra spots in the back. Those two extra
The 2 handicap spots
the
with the
two
extra
handicap with the extra little
van-
landing
vans. Yeah.
or bands, and in the back. We feel like that's awesome. And we hope that that's enough, because there's also two in the front.
You
Two
get 2 in the
front.
front.
Two in the
also.
front.
And I was surprised when I met him and I first saw you. I saw that you were looking at the ramp and you were going up and down the thing, and I'm going, okay, he's testing it out. So I'm like, okay, this looks like it's compliant, because we always felt like the city seems like it might be a little
It's a relatively
like
new
they don't
building,
look.
though, so
There, it's not that maybe they don't look right. I don't know.
relative.
What we found,
How old?
what we found in that building was so bad that we felt like the city just doesn't care. Like somehow, I just like somehow it passed inspection, right?
Well, they did have compliancy, ADA compliancy in the front, so they felt that was okay. But we, after switching the front, having regulation switches from front to back, still didn't stop us from having access either direction. So we felt like, when you come in, we changed strategy on everything, even the point where you mentioned about door saddles. And as a contractor, any hump, any lump in the way. My dad, when he was in a wheelchair and stuff like that, I'm just wheeling him down that wheelchair I purchased from Amazon, which is terrible. Those ones just hit a little bump in the road or a little hurdle. Like we're talking like a 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch is almost like you mentioned before, a wall.
Yeah.
So just having that avoidance of issues. Obviously, you want water pouring in the store, but just having a very small transition where anybody can step over that transition, whether they're in a chair or not, just making it less of a trip hazard or just making it way more
Yeah,
compliant.
we call that a FU step. It's not really a step. It's a FU step.
Don't come in here.
Well,
That is
The
That's a cherry. We
difference in
just
how
found it.
much the flavor
the other one.
and the smell changes
that's
is
different.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
it changes when you grind it up. The flavor,
Yeah, freshly ground.
the odor is
Oh,
so
sorry.
different.
Pass it along.
Check it out.
It's like, yeah,
Sorry about that.
because just the bud, the cherry Paloma, just the bud
Oh my god.
was very earthy, but when you ground it up, that was the cherry. Very,
Now
very
you-
fruity and very.
So-
you can definitely
Yeah.
smell.
Oh,
the-
this is where's the other? Do you
tartness
have
of
any
it.
more Super Booth?
I do have Super Booth.
Let them smell that.
Oh
They're
yeah.
gonna lose their mind.
So
when
I
they
was,
smell that.
trying to educate myself again. I'm still a novice on like how hybrids, and these guys are trying to educate me as well on how a hybrid is more dominant in sativa or
Yeah,
indica.
yeah.
And I'm like, well, why isn't the lab kind of educate our clients, soon to be, or consumers on what's more dominant than the other? Why don't we have these lab reports that really say, well, which one's dominant by how much, what percentages?
Well, yeah, they have that.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could. It's easy to find.
But a
It's,
lot of the lab labels
it's,
they depict that.
It's a website. It's called Leafly.
Oh yeah, Leafly.
That's a good
Leafly's
one.
very, very
It
useful.
will tell you if it's
Yeah, Leafly, you can get a lot of really, really
40,
in-depth reports.
On the hybrid?
every
Really?
day.
They'll tell you like
The
flavor
effects
note.
on
Gotta
it,
send
Yeah,
that to me.
yeah.
the terpenes on it.
I'm still
everything.
learning.
Leafly's a big resource.
Yeah, it's actually an
No,
app.
man,
They have an
Really?
app. It's called Leafly.
But But it makes you wonder why they're not really emphasizing it on the manufacturer label. Like a hybrid, everybody's like, okay, well,
Yeah,
how
but
much?
what is it? Yeah.
What
they don't-
exactly are we consuming here? Like, what are we getting? What are we buying?
So
like-
what I normally do is just go right on Leafly and put in what it is,
Right.
and it gives you all of it right in there.
Okay, that's good. Well, good educator.
Yeah, because it gives you. Where's my phone? I'll
Great.
show you.
So if that was on the labels, we got to educate our consumers. Like if sativa is like waking you up, it gets you like a little nervous, or get you a little paranoid, or whatever that stuff
Yeah.
is. It may not work for everybody, which
No.
is not the most popular. And then the indica, calms everybody down. This and that gets everybody more relaxed from
Cheesy.
what I've learned.
Mhm.
But knowing the balance of the two for yourself, or for your own metabolism, for your own
Well, yeah.
maybe even medical needs, knowing that exact information on there. I'm sure the doctors would share that, but oh wow, look at that.
I see what you're saying, but
Okay.
it smells like
It gives you the exact details.
Everything.
something that
See,
you
we gotta share that
find
with our clients.
in a spray that you
Wow.
would use
Hungry,
to like
sleepy, relaxed.
It's just everything.
eliminate
Now,
odors.
you
You
see
know
that-
those
see that?
nice sprays.
I think of like cheese in a
All the
can.
bad ones.
It's almost to me, it's a little cheesy.
Those sprays that you use to eliminate
That's
odors,
exactly
it
it.
smells just like it. It's beautiful,
And this is from people who have
very fruity.
experience.
I think this is one of the this is
Years.
some of the best things I
Super
smell.
So
Like
these
the
are the
real-
people
But
who get
like
the
yeah, man, if we can
views
get
on it,
some of that stuff from the
people who
2000s,
experience
something
it,
like
so you
that,
get
that was like
real
hydroponic.
views from people.
These guys are
what it
making
is and
some
how good it
really
is.
cool stuff. If I could get a hold of those guys,
They
that'd be
use it
great.
for.
That should be on the packaging.
Oh, we lost it. Hold on.
It should be like a little, the scan and just pop up and tell you exactly
Exactly.
what it is.
Yeah, like having a
QR
barcode,
code, yeah.
barcode pop up
Yeah.
and just bring that information up so the consumers are well
It'll
aware.
be right on the package.
Yeah.
A little QR code that they can scan and it gives
Yep.
you all of the
Cool.
everything you need.
What's we
Oh,
got here?
that's
But it's going to change big time too.
It's a more like
that's fruit punch. It
That's
smells like
fruit
fruit
punch.
punch.
It smells
No, it's not.
very-
It's super proof. It smells like fruit punch.
Wow.
fruit punch. Yeah,
You ever had
Like,
what is it? Burger King's fruit punch?
Yeah. My
That's
son
what it
loves
smells
it.
like. It smells
My
like
son loves fruit punch.
Burger King fruit punch.
very nice, very nice.
There's one that we heard was probably about like 8-9 months ago. It was marmalade. It became like really
I heard
popular.
that one's
It was
really sweet.
really popular.
It's really
Yeah,
sweet.
that's what we heard.
Like when you it's
So,
really sweet.
want-
I know what that smell like. I love that smell. It's so fruity.
Lefty, so what other dispensaries have really come seriously forward? You said that only a few.
Mad Hatter
Mad Hatter
came to us actually about a year ago
a year ago.
about the
So,
issues. I met them at the expo, and they saw our booth. They saw what we were doing. They liked what we were doing because they're a dispensary with their daughter is in a wheelchair, so they're already proactive.
Oh yes.
So they hooked up with us last year. So when they're opening up also very
We would
soon.
love to know how you did that, how you got a booth in there, because we would like to get a booth ourselves.
Yeah, they're expensive.
How much?
They want like $1,500 for those
$1,500
booths?
for a booth, really? And for how long? For like a day?
For a couple days.
Couple days. Okay, that's good.
But you could
And
just
how-
as easily walk around and get your
And what type of like walking traffic do you get in these?
Oh,
booths?
it's incredible.
It's good, right? Okay, cool. I like. I think.
But you've been to expos, right? It's,
Of
it's,
course,
it's just
yeah.
as easy to walk around. But if you
Oh,
do
yeah.
have a if you want to have a booth together,
Yeah.
and I mean a booth.
I know what it's like, man.
It's-
You just gotta get
10 by
people's
10.
faces. We
Yeah.
want to just have a place where we can have signs and things like that.
Yeah, 10 by 10 is like.
Can I sell my
1,500
scones?
usually?
Hey,
Yeah.
Keep scones and selling.
You can
Hey,
you,
like the bake.
you know what I have a
meatballs,
problem
whatever.
with expos and like dare I
Buy some
say
burritos.
Comic Con and stuff like that. Handicap access.
Oh
And
boy.
especially when you get inside, it's like the people do not care. You could be walking with canes. You could be in a wheelchair. You could be a paraplegic, laying down. They don't care.
People just like bolt through, man.
Yeah, and it's
with,
not
like,
much
little
room
gear.
to maneuver either because it got everything so narrow. I've been to so many shows, and I have trouble walking, so I bring my cane there. And when I'm walking, people walking by, damn, they're kicking my
Next
cane.
thing you know, you're being run over by Naruto.
I'm like, what is happening?
Running through, man. Ninja run.
Yeah, I've been to plenty of expos, and it's usually the same thing. It's usually like narrow spacing and a whole bunch of people in there. So you trying to maneuver around a bunch of people. Excuse me. You won't have no lungs by the time you finish with the day having to do that all day because people do not care, and the staff don't care either. I mean,
I mean, they give you little accommodations.
They're just trying to
Look
cram
at what
in as many
happened.
people as
For
they can.
example, look at what happened with the medical going away from the dispensaries because they went to a medical patient and they said, okay, this is the cannabis that you can just get recreational. You can just get recreational. And the medical patient was like, no,
No,
I need
no.
medical. Like, there's gotta be a difference. I feel like if people, obviously, everybody was sort of faking that they were sick because it was like 100,000 car holders.
Oh, you mean people were just getting cards and getting cards?
Cards, and then like it stopped, and then there's only like 30,000 now.
Now, yeah, because you don't need it.
And then you're like, okay, what happened? So what I'm thinking, I'm just thinking like somebody would think, and they probably went to the doctor and just faked it. You know what I mean? And got a card. And then they started buying bud. I mean, that's the reality. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some people did that.
Absolutely.
And other people just said, okay, we're not going to do that anymore because it feels like a hassle having to go
back
to the doctor and all this. But I feel like, there's obviously there's a difference between medical and recreation. There has to be a difference. Right now, there really isn't. It's a very gray area. The stuff that you can get for medical, you can probably get for recreational, and the stuff you can get for recreation.
The only thing to
probably
prove
get for
the only thing to
medical,
prove
whatever
that would be lab reports and let the doctor say it. And we as recreational sellers can't obviously, but at the end of the day, the doctor's the one that's going to be the handler.
Yeah.
What I'm suggesting,
keeping that in mind when the medical patient did receive that recreational cannabis, that took it away from every dispensary that had medical licensing, because most of us did back in the day. When I first went in with Andres, it was a huge thing to be having access to medical and having a doctor on board, so we could help medical patients. And now, because of that one dispensary's huge mistake, it's cost everybody time and money to go out and find medical cannabis that's available.
Yeah.
Because now dispensaries are restricted; they have to be ATCs, correct?
Correct.
And that's made it more difficult. So that's affected the market, in that aspect.
Accessibility
is taken away from people who actually medically need it.
Yeah.
And there's cultivators out there that were specifically helping medical patients, that were making marijuana a la carte just for them, like for seizures and stuff like that. There was one young lady that was out there in the CRC meeting, I think it was back in December, correct? She was like, I really need this. I haven't had any seizures. I've had no seizures. Now, my doctor would say, well, let her prove that, let there be lab reports, let there be, actual medical documentation that backs it up. Well, right now it's working for her. And I'm a strong believer in that. If it works for a patient and it's moving, helping them move forward in life, and they're not having seizures, let's keep that rhythm going. So not taking anything away from medical patients, I think is a great thing. And I think that, going from 100,000 patients down to, 30,000 could be the effect of recreational dominance in the cultivation minds. And I get that. It's a profit, and I understand that.
There's no advantage to having a card anymore.
Exactly. But still holding on to the idea that we're going to be able to help medical patients. That's what I'm looking at. That's the reason why I got into this business is that. And it's being taken away from recreational facilities like ourselves. And I think it needs to be returned if we have a doctor on board. And that's why we're talking about that little 300 square foot area back in the beginning of the podcast, that having that 300 square foot area to have a doctor on board and a nurse practitioner to write those scripts of medical patients and keep the cultivators, just kind of keep it alive for the ones that really, really need it. Everybody else that was, Andres mentioned before, that was faking it or trying to get a better deal on or whatever, or had whatever medical reasons they had for it, that's one thing. But people actually need it. And that's what we need to make a difference with. And I think having an ATC return back to our license without so many restrictions is very important for medical patients.
I think what they need to do in a way is
Ed.
really make a difference between
Yeah, Lewis is saying that Sour D,
Sour D,
Lemonine, or Godfather is what he's looking for.
People are
so
looking for.
yeah,
That's
Godfather. We heard about Godfather. It's very
Godfather,
it's a
cheap.
very inexpensive and cheap weed. We can we would love for them to deal with us, but they really are a little bit inaccessible. I guess because they're so
Busy.
cheap and everybody has them,
Everybody, yeah.
so it goes quickly. We just want to make we it's hard to get in there right now, but
I'm still yet to see.
we
any
love
Godfather.
I like the guys that want to work with us. Like I said, we're starting out. This is our first dispensary, so we want to get it right. We also have the good thing about Peter and me is that we want to franchise for sure. We want to try other markets, not just New Jersey. So we're going to New Jersey, New York. We hope to go to other markets. Right now, we have only those two that are, more advanced, if we want to call it that way. And we hope that with this first dispensary, we learn everything we need to learn so that we can then do the same thing over and over and over again. Basically.
And then make a blueprint.
It's
That's good. Have a
And-
blueprint.
Yeah.
How to do things.
Yeah.
Make things move quicker. Quick question. You guys said you went to what? Andrea said he went to a lot of different towns. Question: did you come to this one?
I did. Yes, this is one of the towns that I came to. I spoke, and they were like, "No," and then
Just like that? Like no, get out of here.
But I did find in this town, I found a couple of locations, and I found the bank that was gonna help me do the thing. So I needed, I needed money at that time because there was this place in Elizabeth. This was before Peter. This was place in Elizabeth that was like three. I think it was like a building that was like 3 stories high, and it was a school.
Oh.
It was just a primary children's school.
I
Huge.
thought we had to be 1,000 feet from a school, man.
No, it was.
I'm confused.
It was a school.
It was a school.
was a
Right.
school.
Okay.
But it was a
Just
Jewish
clarify.
school. It was a Jewish,
Okay.
excellent
Wasn't a public
Jewish
school.
school. No, hold on.
It's good.
This is
wasn't
a
a
wild
public
story.
school.
See, he hasn't learned this story, so he's shocked.
Wait,
But I'm just trying to.
Does that matter?
So
Shop
no,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah.
So no.
Not like it
The
was haunted or anything.
school was not in use. It was all condemned and was bad. It was not a thing where you went in there and said, "Okay, I'm just gonna open up the store and everything's gonna be all right." No, you gotta knock down the whole building. You gotta. It was a
The
big
fact that
nightmare.
it's zoned as a school just makes
But this
me.
was the first thing, the
Yes.
first place,
It could have been
my
the
first taste. Yeah, no. This was my first taste of what it was like to dealing with the landlord, dealing with the finance, dealing with this and that, my limitations, the things I couldn't do. You know?
juggling.
Yeah, thank God. Then Peter came along, but then we couldn't use that location because at the end of the day, that location was lost because the town, when I think me and Peter were trying to go in that location, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go look at it," and then the town was like, "No, we're doing a referendum." Was it?
Yep.
Remember that referendum?
Yep.
They did a referendum, and so what the referendum was is that they are going to look at the applications that have been submitted, and then now they're going to stop, and they're just going to deal with those, and then and then in like
Stop the application.
in like 6 months later, then we'll start accepting the new applications. So it backpedals the process. If you made the investment, like if you went head first, it's like it's pretty bad because
Those delays are costly.
yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad when you go in head first and they said, "Okay, with memorandum, what do you do?
We went into
You
one
can't
town.
cry home to mommy, man."
Remember this one? We went into one town and actually handed over the check. It was under the counter behind the bulletproof glass in the town hall zoning office. And she's like, what makes you want to open a dispensary? I was like, well, actually, Andres, my buddy, got into it, and I said my dad just passed away from cancer, and I think that's one thing that really helped with his appetite and made a big change during that difficult stage. And she just slipped the check back under the counter and gave it back to us. And I was like, oh, money's no good here. Like, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? She's like, yeah, no, you need to have all 3 licenses. You need to have cultivation, manufacture, and retail. And we just had the 1 license, but they were still taking our money, the city, still taking our money, knowing full well we only had the 1 license. I'm like, she just handed the check back without saying why, as soon as I mentioned the reason why I got into the business.
That was another.
And that was kind of a little bit of, that was an adventure. We're out there in the middle of nowhere till New Jersey.
Okay, so. Quick question. Wow. Why do you think she gave the check back?
Because I kind of mentioned the reason why I got into the business.
Okay.
So that, I think, kind of touched a place in her heart.
Yeah,
she just flipped the check.
She was like, nah,
I'm not going to take this from this guy.
She was like, nah, don't do it.
This is not just some guy,
You're not ready yet.
The guy with a whole bunch of money trying to make a bunch of money.
Yeah. This is a real thing. Yeah, not yet. You need more.
Yeah.
So hold on to that.
You need to. She saw something.
Okay, that's good. That's really good.
But we finally found the town. Okay, I made the phone call. You know how it is. It's like I had like a list, like 100 towns, and so I called 100 towns, and finally that one town.
I've been everywhere.
It's like, okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah, because that's all you get. Yeah, this is okay, yeah, it was, yeah, we'll take
Submit your application.
We take an application, yeah. So, okay, so I'm like, okay, let's do it
already.
So I'm like, let's go do this. Let's go find locations in that town. Let's go to that town. Let's drive around. Let's find a place to get that location. So I went out there, drove around. We found a guy, that does realty. He's like this.
Got so lucky.
There's this real
so
shitty
difficult.
restaurant that
It's
is
so
down the
difficult
street.
to get a location.
That it's
Unbelievable.
It's basically almost condemned because the grease is so bad that they have violations, rats, and expired food.
Yep.
It's like and so they're like
Big
they're
clean.
going out. There is like, they're sinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they need to get out. And so the landlord goes like, all right, and then he started playing sort of like, that's the thing. He the delays for us and me and Peter, we're very productive people, and we had calculated when we first started talking. We calculated 30 days, 60 days. We're gonna open, and it's always that because we're very productive. We know, we see the vision. We know what we have to do to make it happen. And if we really concentrate on it and get it done, it'll get done.
Yeah.
So for us, it's always been the delay of just dealing with the way the cannabis business is all set up, the way that it's everything, the law, the way people want to deal with it, predatory. The landlord doesn't want to, it's skeptical. The landlord goes, okay, what? Cannabis? Wait a minute. How does it work? What are you talking about? Explain.
The landlord's bank threw us one. They said their insurance company will no longer cover them. Done.
Whoa.
We're talking about a mini mall. Well, you've been there. So imagine the landlord saying, I've got to change insurance companies. So it goes from whatever it is a month for him for insurance because he puts one cannabis location there to an epic amount of insurance. And who gets to pass down the cost? We get, the cost gets passed down to cannabis. I think that, we're in it for the money. It's really, there's so much overhead. It's incredible to open this business. It's like, it really is a feat.
How much did the insurance go up?
I'm going to say over 20 grand. I think some were over $40,000. He's getting quotes of over $40,000 to $60,000 more
Ridiculous.
a year just because they had one. Now there was there's a liquor store right there. There's a dry cleaner.
Come on.
There's dry cleaners with
Come
chemicals. There's a liquor store there in the same mini mall, but the insurance just went ballistic.
You can't make this.
That green plant. No, got it.
Yeah. So they,
Wow.
and there's very limited, if any, banks that will take us, and we're not allowed to put cash in the bank. Period. If we did that, we got in so much trouble. We put a post office check in there, and we got slapped around by the bank manager. Literally, like, don't ever do that again. I'm like, okay, it was a check. You told us to put a check. It's cash. I'm like, it's a check. We're just trying to pay monthly fees to the bank to keep the account open. And there's so much restrictions in this industry, and people got to realize that it's not just we're just selling butt over the counter. It really is a lot to get into this.
Yeah. Is that going to change when it becomes Schedule 3?
I don't think so. It's not a cannabis issue. It's not a cannabis issue. It's not a
Schedule 3.
no. It's not a cannabis issue for sure. Towns are greedy. Some not. Some allow it. Some don't. But it's always a issue with building the store and having all these systems and all these things in place, like a vault, having all this security, extra things. So no matter 2 or 3 years from now, it's still going to cost the same. It's still going to take the same amount of time. It's still going to take the same thing, because at the end of the day, we actually have recycled a lot of our materials. We have reused a lot of the materials that we found there. Like we demolition the walls, but we saved the studs.
Carl, so many screws you take out of those studs.
Like we just took the sheetrock. We just took it off and kept the studs.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it was quite an adventure.
You're like, how far can I go?
The garbage pile was this high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
The garbage pile was huge. So the
last time I did work like this, like construction work, was when I was like 12. My parents, for like a summer, decided to like buy a house cheap and fix it up and flip it. And we spent the whole summer like just doing that. That was eons ago.
25 years.
Yeah. Woo. So we're trying to make it so that we're trying to basically break the record. And we're going to say, okay, let's break the record, see how we can spend the least amount of money to open the store. And it's almost kind of impossible because of the way people are treating it, not serious enough, or rather the way the town works. Because I'm new to this, dealing with the permits, dealing with town, with the governing bodies.
Yep.
But Peter's very experienced in it. He tells me stories of having to wait up to 3 months for an inspector to come to you and give you a permit to start your business. And if you have a rent that's $10,000, that's $30,000 right there. For most businesses, your rent is $1,500. At the most, in New York, I saw one today. I was looking at it. I wanted to show it to you. $5,000. I don't know if you have the same village from the same posting, but it was a $5,000 in Manhattan. It was 1,500 square feet. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just like the going rate out there.
I was like, wow, man, 5Gs? That's awesome. In Manhattan? Are you kidding me? That's exactly. That's half of what. Maybe the landlord would just up the price just because it's cannabis. They just want to take advantage. In the beginning, as a small business, it's really hard to sort of like
start.
Get in there and get
rapport.
That's very, very expensive. So you have to have the little extra, not in the way you do. We cannot. We have to have a great service. We plan. Our plan is to just have that.
We may have saved tons of money on construction, but we're going to be putting in great POS systems. So I noticed my dad. He's like, I hate this phone. It's just too small. He'd get an iPad. He's like, yeah, I can see it. I can deal with it. But having a nice POS system where somebody who doesn't have great eyesight, doesn't want to keep putting the glasses on, or just having an easy to find, accessible POS like payment system where people could just come in the store, get onto that. And I noticed. The other dispensaries, put them down. They're doing great. Little iPad like this on a little rocky bench, like where you touch it and it's like moving. No, make it a solid base.
Yes.
You can scroll up that big touchscreen menu. It's almost the same money. Like, $1,200, $1,500 for an iPad. You could spend $1,200, $1,500 on a nice touchscreen mini computer in the back.
Maybe you're.
So we've looked into things like that.
They must have some options for Braille and for other things.
Yes, that's exactly keyboard.
Yeah,
Keyboard is going to be a must.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Like it'll be right there.
Yeah.
We can direct it, and then once they come in, they can just surf and scroll. Let them do their own thing. Let them feel like they're being treated like everybody else. Why would they be treated any different? They're a consumer.
And market it that way, because no other dispensaries are thinking about this, except for Mad Hatter and maybe Baked by the River.
Okay.
A couple that I know personally.
I know who Baked by the River is.
Yeah,
we try to actually go to that the town. One of the easiest towns to get into. Really, they were so very. I mean, the people were so helpful, and the information was very open.
Which town?
Lambertville.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah.
Lambertville. What the town was like really great.
That's where the grower that we visited.
We
is out
visited
there.
that grower there, but I feel like they got a great location, and I'm glad they did, because the town was like easy to work with. They were very helpful with me in the beginning. They just sort of like
They were tough on the cultivator though.
They opened.
Groundwater,
I don't know,
freaking out about
noise complaint.
Noise complaint, and there was like a half a mile away the houses were there.
But
They
for
were, like,
dispensaries, it was
so far away
very
from anybody.
Anyway, I
They were
couldn't
tough
find a
on the
location.
cultivator.
Long story short, I couldn't find a location. I was already taken. There were already like three dispensaries there. It was packed.
It's really, really difficult. There's like, what is it, 1,500 licenses out there, and there's only 120 open. There's probably so many people trying to find a location, getting taken advantage of, by who knows what, real estate agents, whatever, just, application fees.
Landlords jack up your price when they find out you're a cannabis business.
Yeah.
We've been pretty lucky though. Like Mattawan.
Yeah, they did.
Mattawan has been really, really kind to us, and it's been a really, really nice, really nice location.
Lucky.
Beautiful town. Like some of the stuff that we've come to really enjoy. That bagel place right across the way from us, Bagel Time.
Pretty good spot.
Oh my
Good
God.
spot there.
Dude, the bee sting at Bagel Time.
Bagel Time. Where was that?
The bagel place that we go to near in Mattawan.
You guys been? Hey, wait, Lefty, you've been to Bagel Time?
Yeah.
In Mattawan?
Didn't it used to be Eli's years ago?
Really?
Is that? Was
They
that
make
old?
an excellent burger. So you
It's
know.
all about the
There you go. I'm
all
down.
about the burgers.
So you know, bro, if you ever go to Mattawan,
We're going for burgers.
we call it Mariwan. Mariwan?
Matty Wan.
Mariwan?
We kind of
It's got a really neat
Matty Wan.
Because
Yeah.
like
kind of got his nickname.
It's Matty Wan.
His family,
Colombian
his
Australian
family,
accent.
his family, it's Argentinian.
Yeah,
Like the first time we were like,
Argentinian.
hey, let's go to Mattawan. They're like, Mariwan? Marijuana?
The funny thing
call
is,
it.
with that, when I was like telling my family, because I got a Salvadorian family, Salvadorian and Mexican, I was telling them I was going to New Jersey. I was like, oh, where are you going? Oh, we're going to be, I didn't tell them what we're doing. I'm just telling them we're going to open a store. And I told my uncle, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, where are you opening the store? It's a town called Mattawan. Mattawan. Marijuana. I was like, no, tío, no, not like that. No. Hey, it's funny though, right? Yeah. No. It's a nice little Jersey town. Okay, it's cool. But it sounds like it. Because my uncle's a jokester, man. And I'm just like, tío, if I could, I'm gonna have to have that conversation with him eventually. He's gonna look me in the eye. He's gonna be like,
Do it.
Yeah, you know it.
I made a living out of it.
But hey, man, look. Yeah, marijuana. But the town was actually at the beginning open, and then they closed down. It was like some type of
Epiphany they had.
I don't know.
Well, because the interest spiked up.
So they opened up and then they closed down, and like a classic move. And then what we wanted to do was we wanted to open the
Immediately.
very second that we got that place. Me and Peter were like, okay, we got a lot of work to do, but this is like a store, okay? We got to do this. And we started really heavy, did it. You know what I mean? Now we're at the phase that we got to rebuild. There's a lot of regulations and a lot of things we have to go through. The drawings, our architectural drawings, have been done
Over
about
12,
10, 12
15
times, 15 times,
redone.
redone.
Switching the entrance from front to back, and then it's a complete turnaround from city, making us go.
He didn't believe me. Yo, Lefty, check this out. He didn't believe me that you went around a few times inside that bathroom. He's like, no way. No way
I thought it
that,
wasn't
that
big enough.
Lefty could make a full 360-degree turn
And when you pulled
inside
it up,
that
I was like,
bathroom.
holy shit, man.
My chair is a smaller chair too, so if you have, just make sure you have 60 inches. Or
No, that's what we're gonna do.
5 feet.
This is what we're gonna do. We have a plan. We have a plan because it was able to turn. We said, okay, let's determine this, make it easy for everybody. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the sink and we're gonna turn it and we're gonna eliminate the bottom of it and make it really
Yeah,
small.
So that'll make it.
Make it small enough for everybody to just go in and eat, make it easy to use and small. And that way it has the extra space for a bigger chair.
And the vertical bars, we got to include those.
And those bars, that of course the bars. We can't miss the
vertical and
bars.
horizontal bars, very handy.
The bars.
Lefty, that blunt.
Yeah,
was
those were great things. That you saved us a lot of money right there, man. Because we had to break. If you wouldn't have told us that and went there and did that, we would have had to break the wall. We were thinking like, oh, let's just break the wall and just fucking build a new bathroom. That's so much money, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Still, if we have to, we have to. Whatever's compliant. Yeah. Whatever makes it work.
Whatever helps sick people get their medicine, and if
That's what
that's
matters.
Trust me, your visit to our dispensary has been totally worth it. We want to thank
me
you
too, man.
personally,
Thank
man.
you guys too, man. You guys are the best.
Yeah, man. It really has been worth it, bro. You saved us money. You have us in your podcast. Remember the name Liberty City. And come to Marijuana. Come to Marijuana.
Next week we're at the State House. We normally do a podcast at the State House. It's a protest for home grow, protest for insurance coverage. We need price caps.
Home grow would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to just be able, just the personal experience of cultivating your own and like growing it. It's kind of no different than like learning to cook for yourself and making your own like dinners. There's a real joy in your effort being like translated into something you can enjoy. It's like just making a simple bacon, egg, and cheese, or making pancakes. Seriously, making pancakes for you guys was like one of the nicest things I've experienced in like the last couple of years. You guys were like just over the moon for it.
I just think that
it was wonderful, man.
as you know, for building a business, then the experience for me has been very positive. You know, I've gotten very good. He's got my back. I got his back on anything. But he's got my back. I know Carlos, very hardworking. I like the way he understands and explains anything. He's gonna be key when you guys go to the dispensary and you want to know what you want, and you don't know what you want. Sometimes you go in there and you go, oh, you got all these things. What is this? Yeah. I don't know. I to be honest, when I go in there, I see like they got this thing, the blueberry, the blah 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 blah, the banana with the D, and you're like, okay, what do I get? I get the stuff with the highest THC. Let's just call it what it is. You get the stuff with the highest THC, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I look for.
Try to
bring it. Yeah.
I go for the terps.
You go for the flavor?
Okay, you like the flavor. Cool.
I'm trying to figure out my terp profile, like what works for my pain. And there's some terps
we
that
love
I
the
don't
feedback,
want.
man. That's the feedback that we want to hear.
There's
we want
terps
to
I
hear
don't want.
that stuff.
That's where that application.
I'm just the guy that likes to smoke the fucking high.
It's real.
Yeah, that's what I found the ones I.
That is amazing.
That's what we love about Carlos. So Carlos is the guy that's going to talk to you about all of that stuff, and you give us the feedback as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm really
awesome.
eager to get to know the town and get to know the people there, and like just build a footprint. That's the really, really great thing. Matawan has been really, really kind. The diner nearby has been really, really kind. Whenever we go and grab a meal and talk to people and build the business, and there's lots of potential, I think, for collaboration with like other businesses in town, like in a lot of different avenues.
I don't think you should just do in town, because people will travel.
Understand
absolutely. That people will travel.
Plans. Yeah, we got.
So if you got the best product, people will travel to you. So I think you should spread that wherever you are.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
no. I think at the end of the day, I look at it as differently and more as a business owner, and I know for a fact that you can get Verano in this store and Verano in this other store and Verano in this other store, and then you can get the same thing basically in every store.
Okay.
So how does that make us? How are we different?
I know what you're saying. I'll put that in perspective for you. You got ShopRite, Stop and Shop,
Mm-hmm.
and Walmart. They all sell the same shit. Which one you gonna go to?
How is
The
it
one
different?
that's more appealing
Best
to you,
service.
which is Walmart. Why? Because they give you a variety of everything. You can go in there and walk out with whatever you
Yeah,
want,
yeah. But more than anything,
and it's easy to do it.
exactly. Have you seen their app? Their
Yes,
app
it's
is
so
legit.
easy
Their
to
app
do
is
it.
like
And
like the Amazon app.
That's why they're
The
winning.
experience is a modern
That's why they're winning.
experience where you go in, everything is well sort of like well placed because everything's together. And here's the thing,
No hassle, no
familiar.
mess.
Yeah. Because when I go to other big or like other supermarkets, I'm fucking lost. I'm like, what do I get? What I fucking buy?
What do I get?
I'm like totally off. What do I get?
Yeah.
The brands are off. What I eat because I'm trying to lose weight, So I'm trying to get what I eat. So I'm like, well, what do I do? What do I do? I have to go to the same spot every time.
Yeah, I was thinking you guys should have like screens that with the menu on it also saying what the menu is at the same time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just basically recycling every once in a while, saying what your menus are on the
Yes.
screen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So anybody who gets close enough to the screen could hear the
Can
menu
hear it.
coming from the screen. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to hear that, you can go over there. Then you have your kiosk where you can go and you can find what you want from what you heard.
You think that'll help impaired?
Absolutely.
What the vision?
And
We
then
went.
the Braille would get the.
They must have those for the
So you know
POS.
what I'm saying?
They must have.
Yeah, we need to somehow figure that out because we were hoping that you would know, since you.
I'm going to research it for you.
Yeah,
as well.
if you can give us some feedback, bro, we really appreciate
I'm
it.
For
learning
example,
too.
my
Because
dad's
that's like
hearing aid.
huge, man. For
My
us,
dad's
you're
hearing
like
aids, he'd go up to
you'll be our
TV,
go-to guy for a question.
Work.
If we have a
it would
question
choose
regarding
the hearing aids.
a compliance with ADA, or a something that has to do with handicap access or handicap bathrooms or anything for the blind, for any type of person that might need it, you're go-to guy. We're gonna come and ask you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because people tell me stuff that I didn't know, and I'm like, oh, now I'll put that in there, and
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
now I know about this. I was ignorant to waste baskets. Here's one: waste baskets. You don't want waste baskets that have to use their feet. You want just something that you could just throw something in without opening it up, or
Yeah.
because if you have to use your feet, a lot of people can't do that,
Yeah.
and that's something you don't think about if you're in a wheelchair. Just in the at least in a handicap accessible bathroom.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, in the bathroom, not
especially
yeah.
especially
Okay.
bathrooms.
Okay.
Yeah,
So would you recommend more like an open container where you can just go ahead and
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Those lids affect people in wheelchairs.
like I've seen them. They're stainless steel, and you just put a bag behind it, and
Yeah.
and it's like a little chute. You just go in there.
Little
Yeah.
things like that makes a difference. You know, things you don't think about. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I didn't know about that, and then someone told me. I'm like, oh, okay.
And honestly, it's a lot simpler than having to fucking step on a stupid thing and have like. I get like those things break down.
Yeah.
And eventually, you have to navigate this dance of like pressure. Sometimes it flips right open, and it's a nightmare. Just leave it open.
Yeah, no, they're horrible.
Yeah, it's cheaper too.
I had an electric one at my physical therapy, and it didn't work anymore. And you couldn't even open the lid. It was like so hot. I'm like,
Got to bring a pry bar with you.
yeah, this is physical therapy here. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Another thing is trying to make that dispensary thief proof. So we're going to great lengths to do that. As a matter of fact,
I think an M80 turret at the front will be
yeah,
a
we
great
hope
deterrent.
like some type of missile launcher.
Tesla coil.
But we know we're gonna go
I'm a
more.
Command and
more
Conquer
we're gonna go
On the
more
wall.
ninja.
Just have it on the wall.
We're gonna go. No, we're gonna go ninja, bro.
Oh, Ninja, yeah.
Sophisticated, bro. We're gonna bring a security system with cameras that can pick up your license plate. And
No, I thought you meant
and
an actual
record it.
Ninja.
No, Ninja. We're talking high tech, fucking James Bond stuff. Our camera system actually has a feature that picks up license plates. just to make sure. It's like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I need that on Broadway.
Yeah. And it's actually one of the best systems out there.
That would help so much in liability thing too.
Wait,
People would
you
drive
profile?
a lot slower,
Yeah.
knowing that like
Yeah.
If it's
can't
a
just
long
get away.
vehicle like that,
Yep.
you know, it's for security reasons. It's only for that reason. It's not for IDing or profiling.
It's actually very common. If you
Privacy
enter,
is
It's very important.
it's very
number
common
one.
for you to
Yeah,
enter a parking lot now and have somebody register your license
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, the camera gonna catch it regardless. That's just what it's there for.
in a public parking lot.
Yeah, the camera's gonna catch
Like
you
the
regardless.
police too. The police when they drive around, they have a camera that just picks up.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's right on the
tells you
it's
what
on
you
the back
did,
of the car.
if you've done something
it's
wrong.
in the front of the car. And all you gotta do is pass them.
It's
And
so
it catches
illegal.
it.
It's so illegal
Right.
and so like gray area that they're not like stopping people over en masse, because if they start finding out how many tickets you got or if you have a warrant, they'll be stopping people over for anything, every time. You can't get away. Just pass a cop, you pass by a cop and that's it.
I've been there.
You're going to
I've been
jail.
there. In somebody else's car, but I've been there.
Yeah.
They pulled me up for that. I was like, what I do?
Because it's good to when they give you the
So
opportunity.
I said,
It's good when they give you the opportunity to just pay it. When you go, okay, you get it in the mail and you go, oh shit, I fucking forgot, and so I'm gonna go pay it, right? But they don't. Sometimes they just do the warrant, and then you get pulled over. You had no idea what's going on, or you might want to travel.
Mhm.
You might want to go to Colombia. You
Mhm.
might want to go to somewhere else, and you're like, oh, you're about to get on the plane. They're like,
No,
sir,
no.
you have a warrant for your arrest. Step over here.
It's like, what I do?
And that's how it is.
Maybe a silly bench warrant, just messed up.
Victim of circumstance.
So bad, man. Even jury duty, which I got the other day, and I'm like, what am I gonna fucking do?
Oh, you go?
So I got jury duty, and I didn't tell Peter.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, I got jury duty. So I'm
You're
like,
just looking at you like, uh-oh.
what am I gonna do, man? When I have to go do this shit?
Well,
And I'm like, no. I called him up, and I'm like, I'm just prejudiced. I'm just really prejudiced. And so I got off with jury duty
yeah, they
like
won't.
that
They won't
because
take you.
I didn't want to deal with it, bro.
way.
I got no time for that shit.
No, if you
I'm not gonna go there
you're
and judge
biased
somebody.
to certain things.
Maybe I like the guy. Maybe the guy's nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't like the guy.
It's
And,
like-
and then I'm prejudiced, and then that's not good.
Just
and-
get on the
and
phone.
so,
And
you know-
I'm real personable, so I'm tend to go with the people. To be like that, they be like, nah, not you. Nah, not you.
Nah, he didn't do it. I'd be like, nah, man.
He say, nah,
He
I
look
know
re-
he
he
didn't
look-
do it. He look.
I
look at his
believe him.
face.
I believe him.
It's so innocent. He be like, nah, not him. Get him out of here. I'm going home. Nah, not him. Or
You
just
ever
wanna be
seen
like
Half
that
Baked?
cops.
You ever seen Half Baked?
Yes.
When he goes like, yo, I believe him, yo. Just like that. Scarface.
Hilarious.
I'm Cuban, B.
That movie is funny. Classic.
So you guys make a great team.
Yeah,
You really do.
Definitely.
So, you're hitting all the boxes you have to check. Proactive, man. And I just got you so stoned. I think you're as stoned as I am, bro.
Yeah. I really am stoned.
I
and
love this because I know you're feeling how I'm feeling.
I actually, when I took that hit earlier, it really boom, it really hit me really hard.
You went to another.
Incapacitated. I couldn't even breathe. I don't know if I could spit it out, or I don't know what to do. So I'm like, I'm glad we're past that, but I always have this theory. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to insult anybody.
No.
But there's a point where even if you keep smoking, I can just keep smoking all night. I'm not gonna get higher than that. Even if I keep smoking and I pass out, I'm not gonna get higher than that. So
I
I'm
get
at
it.
that point. Like I said, I
I
was
get it.
at that
Dad
point
might argue that point.
I've
where
had that.
you can't.
I've heard that
Even
before.
if I smoke and keep smoking all night,
Yeah, it ain't
I'm
gonna go
not gonna
nowhere.
get any
It's
higher.
only gonna
Haven't seen
keep
what
you where you at.
I have a different turf
you
for
can't
you.
get any higher
Let's
than
do
that.
another depth.
Another turf. I will try different turfs.
There's not gonna be things in the wall. Not gonna be, hallucinations or this thing is gonna move. No, it's not
Challenge
gonna happen.
accepted.
That's
Is
not
that
gonna
challenge accepted?
I hear.
He said, "Wait, is
Find
that
a
a
turf for you.
challenge?"
At the
happen.
crossroads?
No, because when you think about it,
What's that?
that's one of the
Yes.
points, that's actually one of the points I wanted to bring to you guys in the beginning,
Yeah.
and we sort of got sidetracked, where the medical has to be different than the recreational. It's too similar. So what I'm suggesting is, okay, what is medical for? What exactly is medical? Should we make medical more potent? Like literally incapacitate you, like literally so potent
Depending on the patient's needs,
that
it all goes back to
yeah,
that.
because you're a patient or you have to go into surgery or something,
That
and you need
goes
something that's
more
like
into
that's gonna knock you out, boom, completely.
that's
out.
more
They say-
into
they say
CBD.
not to
understand?
smoke before
That's
you go to
more
surgery.
into
There's a
CBD
big
content.
study on that.
CBD, but CBD doesn't get you high.
That's
CBD
the point.
I
It doesn't
believe
get you
you're not
high,
supposed
but it
to.
does all the good things for your
Correct
body.
me if I'm
correct,
wrong.
but it doesn't knock you out.
It will knock you out.
CBD can knock you out?
Yes.
I had this surgery without any opiates.
CBD can make you so relaxed you'll go to sleep.
This fusion, I had a
Okay.
fusion.
You go to sleep.
Absolutely.
Ah,
With
but that's
opiates.
sleep. But I'm talking more like
So you're using
like opiates,
THC?
like
Yes.
like
Makes your
morphine,
body
like
feel so
morphine,
great.
like the stuff they use to operate on you.
Okay.
Oh no.
Because you don't die because of the CBD, you don't die, right?
Yeah.
And so if they use that stuff to operate, that they operate on you, to so potent that they knock you out, the CBD might counter
You need
I
more.
mean, together.
those bad effects.
I mean, together.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
would
yeah.
you would have to do
Because the
certain-
CBD has the
it has
one of the
effects for
reasons-
the body.
one of the reasons I don't have throat problems too much, or I can recover, is because this has CBD.
It's him. Okay,
So
Yeah.
CBD
helps that.
helps. It doesn't give me any. I can't get lung cancer in the long run.
Yeah,
I can smoke for the rest of my life.
it'd be good.
I will never get cancer
It's good.
ever
It's good.
because of the CBD.
You know, for this surgery, I used suppositories, tinctures, edibles. I made it easy on myself. I had roxycodone sitting on the counter. If I needed it, I was going to take it. But
Tinctures are pretty
I probably wouldn't have said that first one, but yeah, I get it.
what, the suppository?
Yeah, that
If
you're gonna
I-
say it again.
It,
Helps with
So
cancer.
you're gonna say it twice.
it bypasses your
One time wasn't enough.
stomach.
So you're just gonna keep saying it.
It's super quick and super intense, man.
It's very
Well,
helpful.
Listen,
I haven't done it, but
You hear me?
I've heard. Yeah,
you see my face?
yeah.
Oh, you guys see my face, right? Exit only.
So the
Exit only.
Tinctures are fantastic.
You hear me? No,
Tinctures, Yep.
no. That's I'm not even gonna say it, but no, that's crazy.
I mean, for a medical reason. I mean,
Listen, let me explain something to you. I'm gonna put this in perspective how much of a no that is for me. Okay? I was in the hospital for freezing with 103 fever.
No, you're not doing suppository.
Whoa.
Fever. Woman comes in the room and tells me I'm shivering under the cover. Can you get me another blanket? Woman comes in and tells me, if your fever doesn't come down, we're going to have to give you a suppository. Wait, I have to ask her the question. To be clear, what's a suppository? Oh, it's this thing we give you. It's like an enema, and we put it in your butt.
Oh.
I said, what? No. No. So she leaves. I swear to you. I sit there.
Were you staring at the suppository, or was it staring at you?
She never came in the room with, I'm going to tell you how serious this
Sorry.
was to me. 103 freaking fever. I sat there. I swear to God. I
Did she leave it on the tray?
I meditated.
Were you staring at it?
It wasn't in the room. She never brought it in the room. I
Oh.
didn't give it a damn chance.
Aura just kept it
the
away.
thought of
I
Bro,
thought you just sat it there and like.
I
left it.
meditated for 10 minutes.
He said
I
it's quick and easy. I mean,
Where my fever came down. She came in the room and she was like, your fever's
by the power of the
101 now.
suppository.
And I was like, you are not putting that in my...
The power of
You
suggestion.
know what?
No.
I
Did
think
she bring it back and go like?
my friend was
And
like the
brought it in the
opposite.
room. She said it and I was like, hell no.
I have a friend that
No.
Lightly used.
I have a friend that's the opposite.
Oh, shit.
He didn't want to get the COVID vaccine. He said he didn't want to get the COVID vaccine.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like, it's like he could only get the COVID vaccine if it's in suppository form.
So it worked for me.
Hell no.
It helped me not take opiates.
You got it.
Literally, did not take
How
opiates
many times did you do it?
twice.
Start to like it?
It was very uncomfortable.
Oh, I bet.
You got to lay down. You
I
can't
bet.
stand up.
So you just laying down doing
lay
it.
down.
He's getting comfortable with candles.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't like it. Didn't say I liked it.
No, you didn't say you didn't?
And plus, I was in a lot of pain.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
I mean, you
Didn't
do what you
matter.
got to do, right?
Didn't matter.
Imagine it was
that-
if they made that vaccine though a suppository,
Oh, jeez.
and then everybody had to take that.
Oh wow.
I'm taking it.
How long would the staring competition be?
Imagine
Fuck.
it's like okay,
How high would the
everybody
fever go?
the
You
COVID
ever
vaccine,
heard-
it's a
you-
suppository.
I
Everybody
don't know
has
how
to
high
take.
that fever would go on.
You-
Holy shit!
Bro, bombastic side eye.
And then they look at you funny because
Nah,
you
you
didn't take.
good.
Now,
Look-
if you passed out from the fever and the nurse just slipped it up there, I mean,
No.
that
Yeah,
wouldn't count, would it?
Without
never
my
know.
consent, Can't do it.
I mean, you were passed out.
Doesn't matter.
She's trying to save your life.
Doesn't matter.
He's still going to say no, even if he's passed. He's
Hell,
So
no,
break back up.
no.
Nope.
I'm going in
clenched.
there.
I'm sleep clenched.
Passed out and clenched.
Oh.
The chastity clench.
Chastity clench. Clenched. You can't get in there. Leave him alone. Let it come down on his own.
Man.
Oh man.
All right, segue. My apartment management updated the smoking restrictions to include weed, and they prohibited all smoking on the property altogether. And it's bullshit. It's Minnesota resident.
That's completely.
Jeez, that's
Jeez.
crazy.
Benny,
Yeah, I was just talking
me
about
just tell you
with my
something,
brother
Benny.
about that.
let me just tell you something, Benny. That's normal.
Yeah. It's
Any
becoming a more
building,
normal thing.
anywhere you go, any building has they'll put in the lease that you can't smoke.
Very against smoking.
And if you are like too critical about it, then you probably won't find a nice spot. What I suggest you do is you say, okay, I'm not gonna smoke, and then what you do is you smoke, but you try to keep it low key.
Wait, wasn't
That's
there,
it.
wasn't
Smoke
there
out your
advice
bathroom
about
window
where
or
you
something.
You inhale, obviously, out of the joint, and then you exhale into another device?
I'm just saying, like that.
That
Or there was a
amazing.
filter.
My dispensary
Amazing.
I'm pretty sure that's
dispensary is
what he mentioned.
Liberty City. Dispensary is in Matawan, New Jersey. We're going to be opening up soon. We haven't opened up yet. We are in the process of building our dispensary right now.
soon.
So very soon.
We hope within the next 3 months. We are determined. You was mentioning about this device that filtered the joint after you smoked. Like there was a filter system. Remember you were talking to me about that a while back? That how you could filter.
The weed smoke?
Yes, specifically that. Remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Was it a filter to reduce the odor? Like when you smoked, it was like a particular filter. Was it? I don't know if it was after or before.
It's an after thing.
Correct.
It's something that you exhale into. So it's
Into.
like it's like a tube, and it's a filter, and you inhale. Okay, so there's still gonna be some of
Yeah.
this, but when you exhale, and you exhale into this tube, and out comes out like air freshener. So it's like a little device.
Yeah,
Everybody's made
Charcoal.
one in college when they put
definitely
like a
gotta
whole
stock
bunch of
those.
A
like
mute.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Take a paper towel roll, stuff it full of like dryer,
something like
dryer
that.
sheets.
Yes.
But they
done
used to,
that.
they used
I
to
did
get it
that.
downtown in the village because the village they had the
Yeah.
head shops where the OG head shops were all in the city.
Yeah.
You could get the best things in the city. So many weird things. You know what I mean? And so you would go to the head shops there, and that's how you would get these little devices where
Gadgets.
so you don't get
I got
caught. So you don't get caught smoking.
You got a suggestion? So I'm actually licensed in biohazard, mold, fire, water, smoke restoration company in the insurance industry, restoring homes for close to 20, 30 years. So I have a suggestion for Minnesota there. So a small HEPA filter, even
thinking
doubled
that.
up, very small HEPA filter, but even go on a regular
I was
fan. You
thinking
can go to Home
that.
Depot and make a makeshift one.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy just a good high high polymer resistant like filter. Micron, very
they
micro,
sell the HEPA
micro
filters.
filter. Yeah, but HEPA filter is the way
Get
to
4
go.
of them, and then you take
Correct.
a box fan, you put it on.
That's it.
Point the box fan.
Make your own
upward.
register. You can
Yeah.
change the filters in and out.
Yep.
Also,
micro-
concentrates have a lot less of a footprint when it comes to
Vapes.
to smoking.
Yes.
And I
Absolutely.
believe Minnesota has. I have a friend in Minnesota, and they have a legal market. I would definitely suggest like vape pens if you can get
Yeah.
access to that, because there's like
I don't.
minimal to no
I don't.
Almost nothing.
smell.
I don't want to suggest vape pens only because I've had experiences with vape pens and others too.
Mhm.
That's why they stopped using them. After a while, it's almost like the oil from the pen doesn't heat up enough as it need to. So when you suck it in, it stays.
Yep. And that's
It gives
residue.
you like a bronchitis feel.
Yep. A lot of
You
that
gotta
is an
stop.
issue that'll happen when you got to be really diligent about your battery, your connection between the battery and the cart, and like, unfortunately, you got to go through batteries pretty often. A lot of people they'll just want to buy one battery and stay to it, but eventually, the voltage over time changes
Yeah.
the very
Goes
battery.
down,
So
And what type of batteries do you use?
I try to use anything that's like nice and small, recharges via USB 3 because USB 3 and USB C like is
Yeah,
very
correct.
quick.
Yeah,
yeah,
mini.
yeah.
USB micro and USB C.
I'm so
Those are
like,
great ones.
And there's
I don't know much
there's
about
batteries you can buy that have like you don't have to press a button. You just instantly
you pull on it and
and
lights
it
up, yeah.
automatically has like a little trigger.
So where do you
Yeah.
find your battery level should be, like to avoid that residue, if possible? Like the
Always.
battery should be above half.
No,
3/4
what I
half?
always recommend.
Don't let it drop.
No. What I recommend is to use it and then like don't get in a habit of trying to keep it topped up because that actually degrades the battery over time.
Okay.
And next thing you know, you're just constantly having
What's the battery level should be at to when you take a pull? Like
me personally, I
nothing
I
below
keep
what?
2 batteries.
Okay.
So I use one battery and I use it until it breaks down, and then keep the other battery.
But
in
to
the ready.
avoid the residue, the battery should be at minimal of.
I keep mine always way up to like 430, and
Yeah.
that's when I started using the other one. That one was better, but
Yeah.
the funny thing about when you use the pen, some of them don't have the
Yeah, it depends on the pen.
You can't
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah,
battery
you
level.
can't tell the voltage
It's just
or the
what
level.
they give you.
Yeah.
Right.
I had one that had the bottom when you twist it, and you could go to the 350, 430 was the highest one. So I would either go 350 or 430, and that
Right.
was good. But it was the other one. Sometimes it was the oil. It wouldn't be refined enough.
Oh.
Also.
Is this is out of a dispensary or is this?
Yes, some was out of the dispensary, some wasn't.
Some was legacy.
And then I found some that was legacy that was completely refined and left nothing. It was just perfect. Never found it again, but it
Right.
was perfect. But that was the only one. Or the other ones kept leaving that residue and give you that like you had, just something stuck right there.
Always,
That
yeah.
bronchitis feeling. You always coughing. You always feel like there's something there. And I had to stop. Once I did that, I was good. That's when I went to once and I stayed here.
I think the battery power shouldn't drop below like 30%, 40%, just to be
Definitely
safe.
not.
Yeah. Just to
Keep
stay,
it
just to
above,
stay
like,
safe.
if
yeah.
you have a battery reading
Yeah,
on
but what you have to do is you have to deplete the battery.
Yeah.
You have to deplete the battery to 0 because what that does is that keeps the battery from breaking down long term.
But what's worth it? Getting the residue or
Well,
killing your
here's the
battery?
thing. You're
I'd much rather destroy the battery than get a residue.
Yeah,
Follow me? Like, who cares about the battery?
Yeah.
My health would be more important than
Well,
a battery.
I mean, here's the thing. You have to make sure your connections are always clean. A lot of the times what doesn't work is like if you have very low voltage and a very low battery and also your connections are kind of dirty.
Mhm.
So I basically, when I get to about half battery usage, I clean it, make sure. I've never really had a problem. Yeah. I just always make sure my connections are clean, keep a toolkit of alcohol, cotton swabs,
90%.
90% alcohol,
No,
cotton
70. I put
swabs.
70 on my Xbox controller. My son's Xbox controller it didn't like that.
Nope. 90%
Yep.
works the best. 90% alcohol, some cotton swabs, and something long and pokey, maybe a paper clip or whatever you can find as an agitator.
Toothpick would be safe.
Toothpicks are great too. A paper clip works pretty okay.
Paper clip, wouldn't you should short out your connections? Wouldn't you short out your connections?
No. The connections are the connection
Yeah,
is basically a little flat plate.
Push the button.
Yeah.
On.
Connection's like a little flat plate, and then it just
Oh, okay.
it
That's
just meets. Yeah.
not the
So-
actual.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
What can happen at times is a very minute amount of oil will
Seep
actually seep out and get in between your connectors
Mhm.
and create an inconsistent charge. That's when it doesn't burn properly because maybe one half of the coil system inside is getting energy. So what you always have to do is make sure you keep everything nice and clean.
We got to educate our
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely got to educate.
Mhm.
Just keeping that apparatus
Mhm.
clean.
Mhm. Because if you have an inconsistent connection, the cart doesn't fire fully, and you get like a mix of like vapor
And the
also
oil.
a bit of the oil that hasn't been burnt
And
off.
it gets stuck there.
Yes, you have to be really diligent about it. Like I'm always making sure, because I had that for a while, and then I realized, oh, I'm getting a really inconsistent connection.
And a lot of people would discard that.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah,
throwing
just,
them away.
you could be rid
And,
of it.
and that is one of the reasons why I say a joint is always the best thing, because a joint
Yes, sir.
is just like you just
Guaranteed.
roll
You know
it
what
up
you got. You know what you get.
and you go. You don't need a battery.
You know what you
need-
get. You need fire.
Colombia, they say, you know how you roll a car down the hill and you can turn it on?
You don't even need a blunt.
You ever
can
seen
put-
that? When you run a car down the hill and you're trying to turn it on?
I've done that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
jump start.
That's
Just
fun.
like that. And you just take the
Try to
joint
jump
and just
start it,
roll it down the hill.
Yeah, jump start. Yeah.
That's
Try
what they
It's
say in
called-
Colombia.
you
But
pop the
that's how it
clutch,
is,
you
man.
can
That's all
jump
you need.
start the car.
Take a
You
shot.
get it going here.
You
Take
just
a
need
shot.
some flame, and that's it.
Like somebody's
Yeah.
coming out the door here.
Flame in a glass cup.
Is that
Light it,
good?
drop it in there.
Jesus.
Nothing
Yeah.
else. Nothing
Good to
else.
go.
And it's the simplest thing you can do.
No.
Woo.
Epic fail.
You thought I'm gonna read that, baby.
Because imagine you have to buy $100 every how many months? Every month for a battery? How many?
Oh man, them batteries like $20-$30.
Yeah, batteries are cheap. I don't have to buy one every month.
$20-$30.
I
Yeah,
change,
that's about 3
I
months.
change batteries like maybe every 6 months to a year.
6
As
months.
long as
Okay.
you're diligent with
So
the
it's
charge,
$30, right? So
Good educated.
let's see. Maybe you're right. Maybe you did save some money because in rolling papers, it's like
Yeah, I don't have to track down rolling papers. I don't have to spend lighters, dude.
I
don't
mean,
like-
maybe
lighters
you're
are
right.
fucking
Maybe at the end of the
pricey. They've gone
day,
up, yeah.
you're right.
It's a long run kind of thing. You have to be diligent about it. You have to have a backup battery on the side. But like as long as you make sure that you run it to zero, make sure your connections are clean, the battery will power cycle normally and it will last you a really, really long time.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have to change batteries out every so often.
Got a
Get an extra
response.
pre-roll on your order. It's all
We
good.
got a response from somebody that license plate cameras. A great idea. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Luis.
Yes.
Glad. But we also are very respectful of people's privacy. If they don't want to know or anybody to know that they're smoking, then anonymous is cool too. You know,
You can go there with a
especially
fake
you know,
mustache.
We're in a big
keeping
overcoat.
Keeping everybody's privacy is very, very.
Another question. Let's you first, Carlos. If you have a friend who's down on his luck, who's depressed or upset, what's something that you would tell them to make them feel better, or anyone that would just cheer them up, like a life lesson? I don't know, some kind of life's gem. You know what I mean?
I recently just saw a clip of Bill Burr because I use Reddit a lot
I love him.
and I scroll through.
I love him.
I like Bill Burr. He's a cool dude. I don't keep up with a lot of like stand-up comedians, but it was in the Taoism subreddit, and Taoism's a kind of cool thing. It's really about focusing on the now and like trying to like ride the wave and kind of thing. And he said this thing that really, really just sunk into me, which is you're fine. Everything's going to be fine. And if you got to try and convince yourself that you're fine until, you know, eventually
It's not
things might
fine.
not be fine, but you deal with it then. But until then, cultivate this mindset that you're fine.
That you're fine.
And like that goes deeper than that to me. To me, that means every moment that you get to breathe is a miracle.
Mm.
I'm bipolar, so I've got to ride this wave of emotion constantly, and I treat it mostly by medicating through cannabis. I don't take any SSRIs or any antidepressants. I tried that a while ago. I didn't like it. It was a really fake and really
Terrible.
weird
It's
feeling.
not
I
good
like
for you.
that cannabis being kind of an intensifier to me helps me have this like stable kind of like emotional
Yeah, feel like you're in
wavelength.
control of yourself.
Yeah. So I'm always having to be really, really in charge of my emotions. And one of the things that really, really helps me and just gets to the moment is just like, I can draw breath. I can feel some comfort. I can feel discomfort right now, maybe, but in a moment or two, maybe something will happen. A smell, a taste, a great cool sip of water on a hot day, any tiny little thing that you can find a little bit of joy in.
Take it.
Take it and you can expand on it. You can build on it.
Yeah.
You know, I get really depressed. I get really upset, and I get really, really happy too. Because
Yeah, me too.
at the same time, I'm like, all right, I feel shitty, but man,
Yeah,
It's going to turn around someday.
find something.
And it's
You
going to
always
get better.
find something in there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and that's what I would tell that person. It's just like, I hate to say endure it, but what I would spin it as, instead of just saying endure it, the human spirit is indomitable, and people have found themselves in the worst possible situations and still found a way to make it out. You can do it too, if you really, really just convince yourself.
Yeah, like I would
Let-
basically say
Take
that
yourself
in a
out of the
nutshell.
situation for a little bit and let go, and just be like,
Yeah, walk your own walk.
yeah, this feeling I'm
Walk
feeling,
your
it's
own
here,
walk.
but it's gonna go, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna make something new at any moment.
Keep going. Forward motion only. Just keep going forward, no matter what. Forward motion only.
What about you?
If something get in your way, you either go over it, under it, or through it.
We,
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a cool situation. It's a nice time. AI starting to come around. AI, to me, that's something we want to bring to the dispensary. Having like an AI butt tender, and something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they have it.
That'd be cool.
It's already there. We wanna implement some of that stuff in the dispensary, and for us, it's not too much the look, but if we have the system that works, that's better.
I got 2 questions for you guys.
We don't need to look like an Apple store. We don't want it to look like
yeah.
because you go in there and it looks like the Apple store. All over.
Yeah. But if you had a bot, one question, well, 2 questions actually. But if you had a bot, would it be able to are you guys able to pass out samples?
No, the sample thing is it's not something that you can do because of the responsibilities that come with buying cannabis.
Okay.
You have to be a over 21.
Of course.
And
You have to be over
so
21 to walk in there in the first place.
if I give you something, it's a gift. You give it to somebody else, it might be a minor. Back. You purchase
Gray area,
it, and then you purchase it, and you did, or you give it away, and all of a sudden it turns into a minor.
Gray area. I get you.
It has to be. You have to go through the process of checking the ID.
Well, I don't want to give it outside. I mean, in the dispensary, not outside. Hell no.
No. We focus. I think what we give away is like the rolling papers and like the
Okay, you can
the
have
lighter.
It, have the bot do that.
And we have like the
First-
specials, and we have like the specials of the day, like 20% off flour, this and that. But free samples is like,
Yeah.
I don't think
It's a
CFC
good thing.
just doesn't
I don't
allow
think
it.
it's a good thing.
Even when you gift cannabis, you have to when you purchase it as a gift, you have to purchase it in a certain way. I'm not clear exactly what that way is, but I know there's a law where it says, okay, when you're gifting cannabis, you gotta make sure that these types of rules, that they're not pregnant or you're not passing it along to somebody you shouldn't.
All this is great information for people who didn't know it. You know what
I mean, the regulations just they're very specific on the things you can and can't
Yeah,
do.
because you might get
And-
customers in there and be asking you guys all day, why you guys don't get free samples of the weed and this, that, and the third. Now you
Yeah.
just clarified.
We'll hear that question.
For anybody who might want to know why that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? You gave them an official reason.
Yeah,
why
correct.
that is.
Sampled is a big thing where they say no. It I don't know how they look at it, but they're also cutting back on giving free a free T-shirt or a
As like
Anything exchange.
yeah, anything that could be an exchange.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna give you the
for that.
yeah.
Okay,
Now buy one get one free.
It's- a lot of people were doing this. A lot of people were doing this thing where they said, "Okay, you buy a lighter from me, and I'll give you some weed."
Yeah, that's
And
those trucks are in the restaurants.
that's where it
We know
comes
that
from.
guy.
It's like the
Very successful
it's
Yeah.
like
in the
Worked for
legacy
years.
world. In the legacy world, they're very
Second
successful.
it makes no sense, but
My second question. Your packaging, is it going to be for lack of better words, loud or discreet?
So we don't really get a choice of packaging unless we have our own white label.
Okay.
We plan on that. Definitely.
yes, white
Um,
label is something cool. It's just an extra thing.
Mainstream, like the small companies like Mojo with that quick release edible, I think that's going to be phenomenal. They're very small, cultivated, very small operation. We would like to support those kind of guys.
Okay.
Where they're smaller cultivators out there, where they're more a la carte. Would like to definitely give them give them a run.
Okay.
And the big brand names are always going to be there.
right now we have to. I feel like we have to follow the market, and so there's trends. We have to develop, and those trends are going to start developing as we go along. So we just want to ride that, especially with brands like that are accessible. There's brands that are not accessible. Me and Peter have met different other sort of like growers that don't respond to an email.
Cultivators.
So cultivators
Yep.
like cookies.
There's a
that-
farmer that just changed to cultivation.
Yeah, where
that
you
we're
go, where
connected
you
through.
email
That
them,
guy.
and there's no response. There is dead.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, wait a minute, well, we have the cash, we have the money right here. What do you want? You don't want it?
No response.
You
I
don't
have
want
another question. Is it possible? Well, this one's for you. Is it possible for you guys to kind of like start your own cultivation at some point where you guys could be your own growers, where you could be your own suppliers and have your own
Down
brand
the
of
road,
weed?
Too expensive. It's too expensive. It's to me.
It's $21 million
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah,
open up a basic small cultivation.
You can't do it
21
state to
million. Just
state.
to open.
It's too big. It's too much.
Around that's the
You have to have
average
some serious cash to do
Down the
that.
line.
And I feel like we're taking the lesser risk, but we're
Clearly,
we're
you gotta
still
start somewhere.
we're gonna do the same thing that a grower would do, where they go from one state to another state to another state. When you're a big player like Verano, one of the reasons I think Verano does really well is because when you try to reach out to them, they are quick
To
to
respond.
reach back, and they reach back with good things, with
Positive energy.
not just positive energy, with like okay, we're gonna start you off with a big discount in the first
Positive energy. That's
in
positive
the first
energy.
order. We'll give you a
You
10%
came
discount.
with a gift from me.
Okay,
because
you
I
guys
came
are
to
doing a
give.
launch, so you guys are doing a launch. So let's give you guys a 10% discount on that launch. Make sure your customers and you bring as many people as you can. That's
Positive
awesome
energy.
to us because it gives us sort of a guidance and sort of what to do on that opening day.
Yeah.
So it's important too. The suppliers are giving our employees samples. So they're talking about samples, free samples for them. Yes, because they're in,
They're into
in the
cultivating
business.
weed, yeah.
They've got a handler's license, and we want to educate all of our bud tenders.
Oh, no.
Not the dude.
Oh, no.
You got smoking in here?
That's it's fine.
That was a big dab.
Yeah,
That
but
was
smoke
my,
everywhere.
that was my, sorry, that was my fault. That was a big dab. I apologize. Not really. Just for that noise. Noise kind of.
That was a very nostalgic dab for me because that would be the kind of dab my dealer would usually do back home.
Come on,
I
man.
was a preferred customer, so they'd always
Yeah.
hook me up with like a really fat dab when I'd stop in.
I know the type of guys.
So
Come on, man, do it.
Yeah, man,
They're having our employees like
man, you'll love
educated, like our bud tenders, educated about the product itself. It's very important. We're not going to say any names, but there were some other dispensaries that were holding back that those samples from their employees. I'm not saying what they did with it. I would never, but wouldn't you want your employees to know what you're selling?
Absolutely.
Like every single product, just educating our customers. And
They would have personal experience to be able
Exactly.
to say,
So-
this one's great.
yeah,
This one's more for this. This one made me feel this way. And people will have more of a variety and more education on that variety to make a
and
better
the bud
choice.
tender can educate everybody
Absolutely.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Novice, whether experienced or not.
Absolutely.
Right now, getting
Sorry.
getting a
Dubbing them
uniform
weed tenders.
product.
We're dubbing them weed tenders instead of bartenders. Weed tenders.
Bud tenders.
Bud tenders. There you go.
Bud tenders.
Bud tenders
what we're
instead of
called.
bartenders. Bud tenders.
We actually have a
I
handler's
like that.
license that says we're a bud tender.
That's
we actually have to have a
nice.
state license.
Oh my
All-
God.
we all have it.
The
we are a bud tender.
certificate, the certificate,
License, yeah.
and the
Yeah.
badge. The
That's amazing. How do you get one of those?
Got to work for us.
That's fun.
yeah, you gotta work for the.
So you got to work for a dispensary,
No,
not
but
for us.
it's
How
good.
about
They
that?
I think they got a good thing. It's just that it takes so
Put an
much.
application.
It takes so long to get somebody signed up. It's like getting their their fingerprints and going into the state.
It's
and they
kind of
do
like being a
background
security
check. Oh
guard.
my
You gotta
gosh.
go through all the.
Yeah.
It also educates
like,
the average consumer or bud tender who doesn't consume, like me, what the product is. and what the consumer needs to look out for and what we got to look out for.
Yeah, I was pretty educated in weed before I tried it. I was pretty well versed in how it worked. I just didn't have the experience until I finally did.
When I first smoked weed, I realized that it was gonna be my thing for some reason, because it just clicked. It was just right.
Yeah,
I used to get drunk. I used to throw up all over the place. It wasn't that pleasant.
Yeah.
Weed was like, it was just, yeah, exactly. Weed was like just right. And I said, this is going to be my thing.
Yeah.
And I never, I think I've smoked every day from that day.
I'll tell you the truth.
From that day since I've smoked every day.
Weed the first time, and yeah, I was like, hell no, never again. And then maybe 12 years later, I tried it again. It was like, okay, it's a little better this time. I don't know what the hell I did the first time or what that was, but this one's a little bit better. I was still high as all hell, but it felt better. I was like, okay, I could get used to this. Then I started, getting more used to it. Then it was like, it was done from there. Yeah, this is an everyday thing. Definitely an everyday thing. I think I've only been smoking 7 years now.
Oh, really?
You
started-
7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't doing anything. That's at one point. Nothing.
I started in my teens. I was 16, and the girls in the garage. In the garage. When that's pretty ironic when you think about it, because
I read
was-
the same place he smoked.
we went.
That's funny.
That's the place where we used to have parties. We used to have Halloween parties there.
Like
you know.
raves.
Yeah, high school Halloween parties and little get-togethers, whatever. And we used to smoke. And that was the first time I smoked weed.
Random question: what kind of music I used to play?
We used to play all kinds of music because we were Spanish, so it was like a Colombian thing. So like the good thing
that's what I was getting at.
when I
Was
came
it
to
in that
the
genre?
I came to the United States, there was like a big Colombian colony in England. I didn't know. I just went in there and there was like a bunch of Colombians. I'm like,
So what the hell?
cool.
Oh, word.
So I made a lot of friends, and the culture was, it just never went away. I was just the culture was always there. So we would just play the merengue,
Okay,
salsa.
yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, okay.
That's what you would do, and
Okay.
because
And
the
the
girls,
girls would just dance on.
because we want to do what the girls want to do.
Like, what I was
Dance,
getting at,
merengue,
'cause
dance salsa. You
If
do
that was
that.
me telling that story,
Yeah.
I certainly wouldn't be saying I was playing salsa and merengue.
Oh, you think
some
you mean
hip hop,
no,
some
for,
R&B,
oh, for sure,
stuff like that. You know what I mean?
But don't get me wrong. I also had I was a punk rocker, and I love punk rock, and I love rock.
What group?
Bad Brains are cool. You know Bad Brains?
Yeah,
New York?
I've heard of it. I don't listen to it per se, but I come across things and I give it a listen.
those
I don't just
guys are
downplay
good,
everything.
brother. No. They're old school, OG. Punk rock, fucking New York,
I can't get with
underground, hardcore,
yelling.
hardcore in New York. You know what I
I
mean?
can't get with all the yelling.
Promax. Actually, my
Too much.
I was prior to the cannabis business.
Yes.
I was writing a record, so I was trying to have this. I had this vision, this creative vision of writing these few songs. So I
Why did you
wrote like
stop?
5 songs. I wrote like 5 songs
Why did you stop?
because of the cannabis business. I couldn't concentrate anymore. It was like
It's not about
now
concentrating. It
now
doesn't
it's
go
not.
away.
No, you don't understand. When you make a record and you want it to have every note.
I
Ring
do
out
understand. I'm a
90s.
music producer.
Oh yeah, okay. So I just wanted to have, in other words,
I understand. the
it's a
creativity
project. It's a
thing,
project that
and that's
can
what
wait.
I meant by what
Can
I
wait.
was saying. It's
Can
it's
wait.
a long process, and that don't mean not wait. It's always going to be there.
yeah, but
You know what I mean?
like,
But it's not like I can't focus on it right now. But it's always going to be there. That's what I meant by that.
a lot of obstacles came
In your
while
way.
I was doing that, because the guy that was helping me produce it, which is recording it in a big time,
Studio.
I was paying him. Obviously, he was my producer,
Good.
but he was a touring musician.
Oh, so
So
he
he was
wasn't
on
around
tour.
as much as he needed.
He was
to be.
around the world. in Sweden one day, and then
Yeah.
blah,
He
blah,
wasn't
blah.
around as much as he needed
And
to
I
be.
was here doing the business, and so then it became a thing where I'm like doing the business. I can do it. Then I'm not doing anything, doing some work or something. I was doing some Amazon a little bit, doing I was doing some legacy.
One
a
of the
little bit.
reasons we started talking because you were going to give guitar lessons to my son.
Yeah, I used
That
to
was
give
one
guitar
of the biggest
lessons.
reasons we started.
I used to
talking.
hustle. I used to hustle all
Because
kinds
he
of
can
things.
actually play. He can play.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I used to be. I did a lot of work with the University of Cartagena with a lot of folklore and music that is regional and music that is very
particular to the area.
Yeah, it's like, how do I explain it? It's just folklore, It's,
You were naming guitarists. I had no idea that were.
oh no, I
favorite
know.
guitarist.
I'm into like really deep, like good stuff.
Who's the
like-
guitarist that you named for me the other day? You named like 2 or 3. I'm like
Like Michael Romeo is like
a Romeo.
a really good guitar player.
What do you mean by good stuff?
I'm into the guy that's gonna be like
I heard
fucking
that.
all over the place, bro.
I heard that.
Eh.
You might
It's
offend
gonna
some
make me
people
think-
out
It's gonna
there.
make me think like wow, how did he do that?
Yeah.
So it makes
No,
me
no,
want to
no.
figure it out.
Seriously, I've seen
It
a
makes me want
guy.
to figure it out.
I've seen a guy play a whole song, beat and all, on a guitar. Laid it on his lap, tapped the beat out, and played the guitar at the same time.
Oh yeah. No. You can do that.
Freaking amazing.
The technique is easy. No, all you gotta do is just get the right guitar and get the right strings.
Yeah,
You get the technique. They teach the technique. I actually took classes for that type of technique, a master class.
Oh, it's amazing.
You can buy master classes for like
Yeah.
a couple $1,000,
Yeah.
and you get all the secrets. They teach you, and it's like they zoom in into the thing, and you can just play it. And I took a tapping class, which then, how Jordan, you ever seen what's his name, Jordan Stanley?
Yeah.
Sort of like that style, how to tap and play the chords at the same time. Very jazzy feel. Yeah, I learned a lot about that.
I love that.
He knows how to play Hendrix, AC/DC. He's got
Nice.
the basics.
But I, like I said, the Latino thing, then the rock. I did some touring a little bit with the band, punk rock. It was really great time. Then I went into the quality control industry, and I started doing quality control for a cosmetic company that was a local company, New Jersey company, one of the biggest companies in the world, actually, making Victoria's Secret things.
Okay.
All of these things help me with this business because the quality control stuff it just looks good on my resume when it comes to the CRC because they want quality control in your facility. They need a SOP for quality control
And odor control.
odor control, all of that stuff.
Gotta help that guy in Minnesota still.
It's a necessity.
Yeah.
Still gotta help that guy out.
So
Odor control.
when it came time to do those SOPs, when it came time to get them, I understood what I needed to do.
Oops.
Peter, I didn't ask you the question.
Yep.
What would you tell your friend who was down on his luck and needed to hear something that would cheer him up?
Well, I think there's a cookie that I cracked with my son one day, fortune cookie, and something my dad actually cracked and opened to me. And it's like, when you have a problem, what do? You got a problem in front of you, whether it be life or just difficulties or somebody just passing away, or somebody you love is drifting away from you, or something's going on. Something's just not working out. You have this problem in front of you. What do? What's the first thing you do? You just do the magic thing. Just start. Like, you just don't sit there doing nothing. Just don't sit around, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to fix this? There's no way to fix it. Well, there's a problem in front of you. There's something in front of you. And that little fortune cookie my dad told me, I passed down to my son is, having a problem, just start it. Start something. Just sitting there doing nothing, it's not going to fix it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
Even if that starts, just go about your day like it didn't happen. It's
Something.
a start.
Something.
It'll lead you to where you need to be.
Hmm.
Always a good thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
If you do nothing, it's probably not good for your head to do nothing. Probably
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely good.
Don't
to
spend
do
most of
Ponder
your
on
time
it and
thinking
just
about
get
it.
stuck. You know, it means you're stuck. And that's, getting away from that stuck position is starting. So
Yeah.
just go ahead and start and go from there.
Positivity is key.
Mhm.
Just know if you keep moving forward, it'll get better.
Yeah,
That's
joy.
it.
Joy is good.
This is a great spot, man. It's a nice little. You know, this is like the great. I would have something like this with like a band, or like a band.
A band.
I would have like the drums right here and like the guitar right here, and then like I could rehearse.
He's got all
This
these.
is like this is like a perfect place to like for like rehearsal for a
Yeah.
band.
We have all that stuff in one of the rooms at my studio. It's really, really great. We have
Oh, what do you do? What type of music?
basically we dabble in a little bit of everything. Haven't done punk or anything like that. It's dare I say it, not to offend anybody. It's more noise in my ears sometimes because there's too much going on at once. So I got all that going on in my head, so I can't go through it all. It's like stop. I can't. So, but we do like R&B, hip hop, jazz, stuff like that.
Cool.
We do what's that? EDM. We do.
You guys have a rehearsal
cool.
studio around here?
Yes, it's right on 22nd,
Pearl?
23rd. Absolutely.
You guys have a Pearl? Pearl Studios?
Pearls? Oh,
Oh no,
Pearl Studios.
yeah,
you took
that's the OG.
over here, right? It's here, right?
No, Pearl Studios used to be the studio where I used to have my rehearsal studios, and he used to have 3 locations
Okay.
in this area.
Where was it? Where were they? If you
There was one in Union City. There was another one in Jersey City. There was 2 in Jersey City.
Was
There
in
was
Jersey.
another one in Hoboken, and he had another one in Weehawken, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a great business, and but somebody was actually shot in one of his, and that bankrupted him. The insurance when he couldn't hold on to the buildings. It was too much. It was an environment where it was perfect for like a criminal because they could live there in the studio. They had a bathroom. They could live there in the studio. They could sell drugs from that studio. They could keep weapons in that studio. So it was like a perfect breeding ground for crime. Just like the perfect place for criminals. And somebody got shot.
Sounds
And
riveting.
that was it. No more studio.
Well,
So
yeah,
the studio went down, and after that, I just settled in just doing my own music and not having like a band.
Yeah.
Just doing it myself.
Yeah.
I learned how to program the drums,
That's fun.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I do
Yes.
killer drums. I do some fucking drums, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I fucking played the guitar. That's it.
It's awesome.
Well, we'd like to invite you next week to the State House if you guys are available during the day, 11 a.m.
Okay.
At the State House. We're going to protest and podcast like we do here.
And
At the
also
state.
it's a protest.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Protest signs, Hunk for Home Grow.
And what is the state house again? Where is that?
Trenton.
Trenton. Oh, cool.
Trenton State House.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The state, because the state capital is Trenton, right?
We used to do weekly podcasts there.
Okay.
Now it's too expensive and it's too.
Now, if they license the home growers to sell to us, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Farmers markets.
That would be awesome. Because then technically they're micro cultivators. So why not?
Right.
So micro
And that
cultivators
would
would
mean
be
each town would have its own
Uh-huh.
distinct, like
Their own
robust
boutique.
supply, and that would mean each town would have its own thing that it.
the CRC goes for it, and they're able to sell to retail stores. Say, hey, we're in.
We're glad that we came, man. And
Yeah, you guys are the best, man.
Absolutely.
thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Let me do a few things here. A little housekeeping. I want to thank CMMNJ.org, Canasense, UFCW, Local 152, JacksonStorms.com, Smoking Monkey, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and you can donate to our organization at SativaCross.org. we're always looking for some help for ramps and for all the stuff we need. But I told you guys that we don't want a donation from you guys. We want you to pay it forward to the next dispensary that needs a ramp, which could be Cannaboy in South Orange.
Oh, really?
They need like a 6-footer.
Okay.
So we went there.
We were thinking also to keep in, an extra one, just if somebody doesn't have a ramp, we just use ours.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Rent a ramp. Not even, just borrow a ramp.
Just
There you go. Till you get it right.
Yeah. So we donated so far about 50 ramps. Not donated, but we got 50 ramps in Bayonne here.
That's awesome.
Bayonne's rough. There's a lot of, and you got the urban enterprise zone here. So if you're an urban enterprise zone, you have 3.5% tax breaks to those stores that in those right in the urban enterprise zone. If you can't get in that store, if you're in a wheelchair, you can't get the same tax breaks as able-bodied people, and that's something nobody thinks about.
Wow.
And that's nobody is even talking about that.
really.
We're so far off the radar. We're just trying to get.
We will exactly. We want to help everybody, and it's a great idea that you guys are doing this. We got your back, man.
We got yours. Oh, I was thinking, why don't you make a jingle, a musical jingle for your dispensary?
We will.
I'll make you a video.
We have the
actually got one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That
I'll make
sounds
you a
cool.
free video, a
Awesome.
commercial.
That sounds cool because actually we don't know anybody
one in
other
the
than
works.
Carlos to make the video. But Carlos,
Oh, we'll sit here one night and do
Yeah.
a few blunts and just
you
over
guys,
here.
you guys.
What's that?
What kind of editing software do you use?
I use either iMovie's so easy, but I use Final Cut.
Oh, I've been learning DaVinci.
DaVinci.
Final Cut
DaVinci's
is the
really cool.
OG,
DaVinci
man.
Resolve.
Final Cut is OG.
DaVinci Resolve, Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve. It's been
Really?
fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to learn more. I've been getting really, really, really into video editing.
Yeah.
I got
it's
into
fun.
Final Cut. You know when I got into Final Cut back in college, in Bergen Community College, when I went.
It's fun.
Yeah,
It was tough back in the day, too.
Sonar and that scoring video, it was like so new, man. It was awesome.
I like Vegas Pro.
Vegas was
is really
another
good,
one.
too.
Oh,
Vegas
Vegas
was
Pro.
also
Yeah.
a great program.
You can connect it to so many different programs, like as an extension. You could run Vegas Pro through Pro Tools. It's very easy to connect the two and run them through each other.
Back in 2004, that was brand new. It was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, all of the plugins are also compatible too. So if you have plugins in your Pro Tools, you can use them in the Vegas Pro.
Often there's a site called humblebundle.com where you can go to, and they'll usually do game bundles. You can get like a bunch of indie games or maybe like a bunch of shooters. I saw they did a Fallout bundle once. You pay like maybe $24 and you get like 5 or 6 games. That's how I was able to build such a big Steam library.
Nice.
Every so often they do software stuff too, and you can get the latest version of Vegas Pro for like $14 ballpark.
But
and
that's
I-
not the
no,
that's
it's the
not
real Vegas Pro.
It's the jacked up one.
No,
Because
it's
the jacked up one is like 10 G's,
yeah,
bro.
it's like the real one, but it's like a previous generation one. You can get a really, really good deal. There's lots of really, really great deals on editing. DaVinci is like a free. There's a free one, and there's like a paid version, but you pay once and you buy it like it used to be.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got to buy like
Keep
a
paying is a monthly thing.
yeah. DaVinci's one of the few people like out there now that like you pay $300, you get the software, you get the full suite, and it's yours. And that's a
good.
pretty cool thing. And I use the free version. Free version is really, really good. It's just you don't get like all the filter suite and like a lot of color editing stuff, but you get like I'm able to make some really, really
But you could just
fun,
take that and
basic
put
stuff.
it in something else
Yeah.
after the fact and do all
Oh, yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
So which makes it great.
Mm-hmm.
But Vegas is the OG as well as what's the one you said before?
Final Cut.
Final Cut.
Final
Final
Cut.
Cut's
Final
great.
Cut Pro.
All of them. Final
Yeah,
Cut,
if you're an Apple
Vegas,
user, definitely.
OGs.
I'm a PC user, so Vegas Pro go hard for me.
I used to use Sonar. You guys, Sonar from
Yeah.
Cakewalk. Now they're giving it away for
Cakewalk.
free. From Cakewalk. Yeah.
Yeah, Cakewalk.
I use Logic for music sometimes.
Yeah. Cakewalk used to be good back in the day, like the year 2000. You pay like $3,000 for it. You get all the stuff that you get now for free, and it was the top of the line.
I have all the plugins for Vegas Pro and Pro Tools and what is it? SoundForge, Reasons, all of that. MPC program, the Kai MPC program have all the plugins for that.
Yeah, Reason is another good one. Reason it's amazing when you look at it.
What?
You're like,
Reason
"Ooh."
now? I was using
You can
Reason
plug it in the back, and you look at the back of the thing, and it looks like
since Reason
wow.
3.
It's got all kinds of synths and all kinds of crazy shit. You're like,
Yeah.
I started on
Oh.
Reason 3. They're on 13 now, I believe, or 15. They're on
Yeah.
15
yeah,
now.
That's good stuff.
very expensive stuff.
Yeah.
You can get it the bootleg version of it, but it never works right. If you can afford it, dream come
It
true.
does work right if you know what you're doing,
Dream come
but
true.
that's different. It's a different type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy putting together a
Yeah.
nice.
No.
I mean, the dispenser is way harder, obviously. Studio.
We're gonna do something here. We're gonna string together some drum machines here.
Cool, man.
Nice.
I like that you have your what is that? The Elgato trigger.
Yeah.
You got is the Elgato or what type of trigger?
No, this is the best mixing board in the world for podcasting. It's the Mackie,
Oh, okay.
the Mackie
got it.
podcasting mixer, DLZ.
I love that thing. That thing's awesome.
It's got It's got the headphone outs.
Yep.
It's got the Bluetooth for this built in. It's got it's samples are right here.
Yeah, baby.
Everything's
That's
right
it.
here.
That's how it is. Yep.
All day.
Yep.
I love it. Everything's right here. Easy. I used to have a headphone thing for all the headphones. So that, we actually had to put a splitter because we have 5 people here today. It says 4 outputs. So now I realize we can do 5 headphones. That's really great. I learned something new today. I learned a lot today, actually, guys. Peter, can I dab you out before you go?
I'm good.
This way?
I gotta
Okay.
drive.
Oh, you're driving. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Designated.
All right.
Yep.
That's good.
No peer pressure allowed.
No
Still
peer
very
pressure.
I still got work after this.
That's Lefty's
go back to
sort of
work.
like Jerry Garcia
Oh.
persona.
I'm going to get you
Peer
next time.
pressure, peer
I'm
pressure.
gonna get you high. I'm gonna get you high.
Peer pressure,
The
peer
a
pressure.
guru. So the weed guru.
You're from Australia, or are you originally?
Originally from Australia. Yeah.
What part of Australia?
Melbourne.
Okay.
Is it true that I don't want to say snakes because that's a common thing, but is it true that you can see the spiders running towards your house from the field?
Pretty much. They pick you up and carry you away sometimes. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Is that did you spend a lot of time in the house?
Yeah.
I would have. Because I'm not, I mean, I'd be afraid to go to the bathroom. Like, taking a shower must be
gotta be more
scary as
afraid to
all
go.
hell.
You got to be more afraid to go to the outhouse, on the toilet seat.
Is it outhouse?
Yes, yeah, we can't afford pipes in Australia.
Whoa.
Come on. We don't have,
Ow.
so you go to the outhouse.
So you mean to
Hunts
tell
now,
me
man.
that
You know,
your
you lift-
epic
When you lift the
adventure
toilet, you always
When you go in the outhouse,
To go to the
water goes a
toilet.
different way.
so you got to lift the toilet seat before you go.
of course, because
toilets,
it'll be
they
things.
love the moist.
Yeah, because around the
No,
rim of the
damp.
toilet.
Yeah.
I've been watching them videos. People go home and there's a snake under there,
No.
Yeah.
There's a
big
river.
ass spider.
There needs to be a river under it. But in Australia, the river goes the other way.
The
I got no
other
time.
direction.
I got no time.
Oh,
I have zero time for stuff like that.
no.
You see what I mean?
No.
My brain goes there periodically, often.
No. I even thought about a bidet, and I rethought that. Never in my life.
Yeah,
do I
have
want
you
a
guys
bidet.
ever experienced a bidet? That's a real
I
question.
don't want that.
Yes, no, maybe so.
Is that the thing that sprays your ass?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. With the little buttons, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Some
mean,
people love it.
special.
The
Have you?
toilets.
Yeah.
Toilets I've been
If the
like,
water is hot, yeah, I would say yeah.
The water's definitely
Cold?
warm.
Japanese toilet. What's the name of it?
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot.
It's a bidet.
Oh my
The
And
bidet.
it's talking
And it,
Yeah, I used one once,
Radio.
twice.
Summer
when
fan.
you walk up to
They're
it,
really nice.
it'll
You
know
liked it?
male, female. It'll
Yes.
say-
It was.
my
Yeah, your
goodness, I
name.
can't- somebody else.
Bidet,
was-
yeah, your name.
I was bewildered by how clean it was.
So it's a yay?
Air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay? All right, we have one yes.
I don't
Bidet,
know.
yes.
That's-
Two, yeah, two,
Toto?
Yeah,
Toto?
yeah, I go for that.
Yeah.
Some little freak.
Oh, really?
Is it?
No, you don't even feel it.
Brand name of the toilet?
Like you don't even really feel it. Like
That's
they program it to where it's like
Toto.
it's like
I could be
such a
wrong.
like faint like you barely feel it. It's
It's a weird sensation.
yeah.
I feel like you just made that up.
Somebody going,
It-
No,
it's
no,
very
no, no,
weird.
no, no.
It's a very weird sensation.
I worked in Austin for a little while, and I worked at I can't name the company, but it was a very large tech company, and they had a particular division where, like they had a lot of really programmers that would crunch a lot and would stay there, and I think they had noticed that like some of them maybe didn't have like good hygiene. I don't know how the thing got installed, but when I went in one day, I noticed that they had two like toilets that were off in the other stall, and I looked in and I was like, they weren't just like, it wasn't because they were accessible, because they had also the accessible stall. I went over and I looked, and they had like fancy toilet. I saw the little thing. And I'm normally not a guy where, you know, I go out and do that, whatever. I had to do it. I was like, it's there. I was like, I work here. I got to try one day. So one day I got it. Barely noticed it. I was bewildered, and it was super, super clean, man.
I believe that second part. I don't believe that first part. You can never convince me that you barely noticed it. Or maybe you didn't. I noticed. So
I mean, I was trying to pay attention to it too. I was like, you do feel it.
I might be.
You got to be really like noticing it though.
I might.
They
I might
really
be
make
bewildered.
they try to make it. That's how I felt. I was like,
What the hell
I
is
was
that?
preparing for the worst. I was preparing for the worst because like I don't want to leave the toilet with like a stink, like, you know, a little bit of water or whatever. That would look terrible. So I'm like, dude, this better be like a miracle.
Do you think it had like the secret suppository device or
Sneak
I
it
don't
in
know
there.
if that was an option.
no?
It didn't talk to or anything. I was expecting it to talk or do a little song or none of that.
All I know is that bidet.
You sat down, you pressed the button?
It's definitely like a modern thing.
No, it's been around for
Really?
Yeah, no, bidet's been
I
around
see that's
forever.
very robotic.
1800.
To me, it just looked very
1800s.
modern.
Really?
And
The electronic ones now,
Um,
that's
yeah.
Japanese have it down.
You think it has a
They
deep
have it
cleaning option?
That's what I heard.
For ribs.
People love it.
I don't have it in my toilet.
I did notice that it had different options. I went for just normal standard or whatever, but they did have a like heavy. I don't know if they said heavy, but they did have an option for like deeper clean or whatever. So,
Oh.
Time for that, bro.
but they didn't serve that kind of food there. So like, you know, the lunches there were really, really nice and like well made. They did do I mean, it's Texas though, so they did do barbecue one day, but I didn't think to go in there. I don't eat a lot of barbecue.
Don't you Americans have this stuff we call what's it called? Pooperate?
potpourri?
Yeah,
Potpourri.
poopery. Yeah.
Oh no!
And you put a liquid in the toilet and it pops in there and doesn't smell back. It's like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
what's it called?
Poopery. Poopery. Yeah.
You
Potpourri.
guys,
I thought it was
who invented
potpourri.
that? Was it?
It was potpourri.
It's
Was it
I always wanted to know what that word would be.
It's
pronounced.
incredible.
Potpourri,
Like the poop goes in
potpourri?
there and the smell doesn't come. It's the one way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like like what you like, the one way trip.
yeah.
Doesn't
Exit only.
Potpourri? What is it?
Exit only.
That's
Exit
French.
only.
That's too French for me.
Well, I hate to bring everyone down, but we have to do the list.
See it.
Our list is a group of people here that have suffered and died waiting for cannabis or used cannabis to help their ailments. And the list begins with Cheryl Miller. Jim's gone, but his wife Cheryl suffered from MS, and she was the first person I saw that made me think about cannabis as medicine, because I thought cannabis gave you the munchies back then. And I'm like, okay, maybe it helps cancer patients because it gives you the munchies. I'm like, cool. But then I saw Cheryl, how she couldn't move her arms and she was stiff like this. And then Jim would give her cannabis, and all of a sudden he was able to exercise her and move her arms, and the spasticity was gone. And I was like, oh, it does more than just this. And then I learned about the endocannabinoid system and all that. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing that the government lied to us even more. Like, I know the government lied to me. The first time I smoked a joint, I said the government lied to me because it wasn't as bad as heroin, like they said. It wasn't as. But now that I knew the medical cannabis was a thing, I'm like, oh, they lied even more. They lied and made it even worse, compounded it. So Cheryl was a warrior. She went to Washington and got arrested eating cannabis in front of the senator's office. And she couldn't move. She was in a wheelchair, but Jim pushed her across the state, and he pushed her all over. And it was amazing activism I saw from her. Sabina Rose was a 15-month-old baby. She died from Dravet syndrome, and she had a 25-hour seizure. Can you imagine a 25-hour seizure? I can't imagine a 10-minute seizure. She had a 25-hour seizure, and she was 15 months old, and she was waiting for her medical card in the mail, and her parents didn't want to give her the cannabis because it was illegal. It's a catch-22. You either give your kid the cannabis and the foster place takes them away, or CP, whatever, Zyphus, or it's a catch-22 for the parents. And I feel bad that they have to make that decision. So she died 2 weeks away. She wasted time because Governor Christie back then had a regulation that everybody had to go to a psychiatrist to get a card. That was one of the regulations. You had to go to a psychiatrist. that took 2 months of her life away. And what's a 1-year-old kid going to say to a psychiatrist? I don't even know what's the point of that. It's wasting of time and stuff.
What could she say?
So yeah,
Tragic.
so yeah, that was Sabina Rose. So, and I know her family, and it's just horrible. These are horrible stories. Everyone here has a story. I'm just going to go through the list. Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy. No, they gave Randy the Whipple procedure before they gave him cannabis oil. Should have been the other way around. You give cannabis oil first, then you do the Whipple procedure. But the Whipple procedure is like they take out a bunch of your organs when you have cancer. They just remove them totally. Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella. Hattie was my grandma, and I used to fill up a vape bag for her and take the vape bag from here and down to Spotswood where she was. And I would be like, okay, Grandma, we're going to test your breathing today. She was in a lot of pain. So I gave her the bag, and she liked it a lot. But I didn't tell her what was in it. I just let her know it was a breathing test. But eventually she started asking me for the breathing test. She's like, did you bring the bag for the breathing test, Edward? I'm like, yeah, here it is, Grandma. So give her the bag for the breathing test. And it really helped her with her pain that she was in. And it didn't hurt her at all. That was my grandma who should have been, she should have been able to get cannabis in the nursing home that she was in. Nursing homes don't give you cannabis. They take it away. These facilities will take it away. Chris, a board member, they took his, he got kicked out for using cannabis. They went into his bag, his pee bag, and they took it, they injected it and got some pee from him, and they found out he was using cannabis, and they kicked him out of the federal facility.
And then what?
And then he had to go somewhere else, to a different place. This facility is in Florham Park, too, by the way. And this facility is so ignorant that they parked 2 huge moving pods in the handicap spots. So when me and Chris went there one day, we're like, hey, you have these 2 huge containers in the handicap spot. You have every other spot here to use, but you use the handicap spot, and you're a rehab facility for sick people that are in wheelchairs. What the hell? And they wouldn't do nothing about it. So I went to the police and I started filming them. I'm like, listen, I said, you got to do something about this. I went there. You need to do something about this because this is bullshit. You have a law for a reason. You got to enforce state law. I don't care if it's on property, private property. And they were like, okay, fine, whatever. They went there. And those things were moved. They were moved. But that's the kind of shit we see all over the ignorance. Like, where's your brain at? When they shovel snow. They shovel all the snow into the handicap spots up by me in Florham Park. It makes no sense, but this is what they do.
That's when you need it the most. You need access. Those spots should be clear and clean. Like number one priority.
Yeah.
It goes to show where their priorities are.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait out there one day for that guy. I'm waiting for that guy. Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lulu, Becky, Lawanda, that's Bear's sister, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, and that's Bear's cousin, Gary. We just added Gary to the list the other day. This list just keeps going on and on and on. Jeff Oakes. Jeff Oakes was an activist who had stage 4 cancer and used to go to the council meetings with us when they would ban cannabis in the town. We would go in there and he would literally beg for his life because he couldn't get cannabis in a lot of his area. So when you ban medicine for people, they come out and fight. And he came out with a chemo bag strapped to his hip one day to yell at a council. I forget what council it was, but he was sick that day and he still came out to yell at them. And
let's do it though. Let's do it, Lefty. I think we can do that, man. I think we can ask the CRC to allow cannabis dispensaries to do medical, just to have
bring
more access. Because think about it, if you have more recreational dispensaries that carry medical, I think it would be great access, because then people will have to travel less to be able to get that medicine. Right now, they need to travel far to be able to get.
If you're on Long Beach Island and you live in the end of Long Beach Island, which I forget the name of that place is, you can't get no weed there. You can't get no weed. It's like ridiculous.
Yep.
I knew a vet
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
Yeah, it's just like
There needs to be. I mean, there should be a law that says that you can actually sell medical, and if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to do it for the patients, I think it should be allowed.
Absolutely.
yeah, I like that. Okay, that's our list.
Wow.
Yeah, it's getting longer, and it's hurtful. Sometimes it's helpful. Sometimes it's hopeful. Mostly hurtful, though. Sometimes. But that's why we do this. You know, I don't make money off this. I actually spend a lot of money doing activism, traveling to Trenton and doing all this stuff. And I don't mind. But, you know, it's not like, you know. And I also tell people I got nothing better to do. I don't have nothing. Find me something better to do, I'll do it. And we ain't found nothing yet. So me and Bear sit down here and hang out. And I do my activism. And just have fun with doing that. And hopefully I don't have to go to more dispensaries. But I know there's a few more. And they haven't reached out. So either roll with us or get rolled over at this point. Because we don't want to protest any dispensaries. But it's on the table. It's certainly on the table. You know? I mean... And we want to work with, you know, we want to pay it forward. We want to just get people.
Yeah.
And I think most businesses would want to feel the same way. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm freaking stoned, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really high. And I have to get home. So I want to thank Liberty City Dispensary. You guys are the best. Is there anything that we can, is there a website or something that we can start?
Very
promoting?
soon.
Right there.
Okay.
We will be very soon have the website and
Okay.
an app, hopefully, coming up.
Okay.
We would love to be invited again whenever you want.
Dude.
Whenever you want us.
Yeah.
let us
Well,
know.
we're in Trenton next week. So if you want to come to Trenton, it's a
Okay.
long ride.
Yeah.
But you're all invited. You know, maybe you all can't make it, but maybe you won't, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
come down, do some dabs, some blunts.
Got to drive
Protest.
the limousine down there.
There you go. Okay. I like that. You can party in the limousine too. You're
Absolutely.
actually allowed to.
Yep.
As long as the cabin's
Key-
sealed.
Keys out at the keys out of the ignition.
Cabins, I got privacy.
Does that matter? Does
Yes.
that make it does?
The driver cannot be affected. Driver should
That's
not.
that's the difference, because I know as a patient I can medicate in my car
Mhm.
with the keys out of the ignition.
Right.
So that's a little different when you have a limo,
Yep.
a driver, and you
That's
have.
right.
So you could.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah.
to know.
And having a good filtration system.
Once in a
Odor
while,
control.
open it up, close it.
They're working on that out of control.
Good stuff. Okay, so the website's coming soon, and
And the app.
Yeah.
Yep.
and I'm going to make you guys a commercial. So you make a jingle.
Yeah,
And
for
we'll
sure.
think of a jingle.
We got a couple ideas for how we want it to look.
City,
And yeah.
it's so many.
No,
Dude,
it's
open palette.
American. Just keep it some Jimi Hendrix, you know, some Star Spangled Banner, some
Liberty City.
some rock and roll, you know, solo,
Bear,
you know.
come on. What do we got? Liberty City. What do we got? Got a rhythm? Can we start with a rhythm? I don't know. You help me out here.
American, bro.
Put you on the spot.
Come to Liberty City. We got the best weed. It's so pretty. I don't know. Come on, help me out here.
Listen, before you start coming up with words, sir, you gotta have something to put you in the mood. So where are you going? Like where
You
are
want
you
some-
trying to go?
Oh yeah. Don't challenge me. Hold on.
That's what you need first. You need a jingle or melody. A jingle brings words. Melody is what
We'll make a
counts
Christmas
when the
album.
Words. That's how music works.
We'll make a Christmas album. Sounds like Jingle bells works every time.
Why'd you go straight to Jingle Bells? I did the same thing. Maybe that's the one everybody know the most.
Everybody has a Christmas album.
Dashing through the hills.
Liberty City. Come on, we can.
All right, man.
Open palette, right? City, Liberty, City. Don't do that.
Try to steal somebody's jingle.
I'm trying.
Steal somebody's jingle.
This is Bear's song, by the way. You can't steal this. This is Bear's.
Oh, okay, cool.
So good. It's a good job.
Unless you give him some copyright. Oh, you didn't hear? Oh, yeah, I'm singing a cappella to you, bro. I got a beat behind me. You don't understand. Liberty
Too fast. You can't do that.
City.
It's too fast.
It works.
It's too fast.
Liberty.
I'm sure I got something upstairs. This commercial
I really like
That's
this beat, man.
for the jingle.
You made this. This is great.
Huh?
I like the beat. It's
Yeah,
really
he
well
said he's a
done.
producer. He's he's got fire. Oh my God, this is just one track. He's got a bunch of them on here. Liberty.
Reminds me a little bit of Jay Dilla. With the claps. Reminds me a little bit of Jay Dilla. Guy I really, really did.
Oh man, but
Headphones.
that guitar player. What's the other one that I have to look up?
Oh, please look up Jason Becker.
Jason Becker. That's the other one. Yeah.
He is
I keep
phenomenal.
playing.
You'll find him around like a guy like Martin Freeman. You ever heard of him?
That sounds familiar.
Marty Freeman
Yeah.
is the guy from Megadeth.
Yeah.
That guy.
Okay.
So that guy made a band with Jason Becker, and Jason Becker was, he's a phenomenal guitar player. One day he had a heart attack, and he couldn't move anymore. So then he left that legacy, but he didn't die. He hasn't died yet. He's still alive. So now that they have the technology, he's been able to basically craft his own music back again just by giving the computer directions, and he's making wonderful, wonderful music and great solos again, like guitar, legit, technical guitar solos. I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude.
Is it like AI kind of helpful kind of stuff?
No, he has a producer with him, and I don't know if you know about sound manipulation, but Pro Tools is very, very advanced, and you
yes,
basically
it is.
tell it what you want it to do,
Mhm.
and it does it. And you can add any instrument, no matter what it is,
Yeah.
guitar, piano, whatever instrument, it'll do it.
Mhm.
It's a great, great thing.
We'll have that here.
Yeah,
I have it upstairs.
Yeah.
I have it all upstairs.
it's probably the best tool you could ever get.
Yeah, because this podcast studio is moving to Avenel, so we'll have this open again to do other stuff. So
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be excited to do some music down here. That'd be fun.
What?
What?
I'm making music?
What?
What?
Come
What?
on. Come on, man.
Just like old times.
Uh-huh. So we end the podcast with the old. It's called the Ode of Remembrance from World War One, and it's about war, but it also means a lot to activists who hear this. It's people that have worked with us. So we say this at the end of every podcast. It goes like this. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not worry them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.